Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmie. Yay indeed.
Yeah.
My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman. Good morning.
Good morning and good evening. Thank you guys for joining us today. We've had travel delays.
Yeah.
We've been up since, 2 days ago.
2 a.m. Arizona time.
I feel like we just did a show in Louisville, but that was like 30 hours ago. I don't know when the hell we did that. It's 12:40 a.m.
Right.
Phoenix time when we're hitting record right now. So
Tuesday morning.
On a Tuesday morning.
Right now.
So let's get it on. That's how important this is to us, guys. Yeah. Honestly, we're doing this. So buckle up. It's going to be fun. Thank you guys so much this week for everything that you've done for us. First and foremost, you guys are the best. Thank you for all your reviews. If you haven't done it yet, please get on there. Purple icon, Apple Podcasts, and what is it? Stitcher. Stitcher, they count too.
They accept it.
They take them 5 stars, help a lot. They help drive you up the charts. It's a weird thing. It's an algorithm of listens and reviews, and I don't know. I think signals that birds send to each other, telepathically. I think that affects the charts. I'm not sure. I think that's...
You're in that?
You're
in that
no,
group?
I'm not in that
birds
group.
Aren't real?
No, birds are certainly real. They're fucking assholes, so I know they're real.
They're horrible.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If birds were fake, if they were government plan, they wouldn't be dicks. Right. They'd say, make them just blend in and not shit on things and be dicks
that
to people.
That robot sure makes a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit for a robot. I don't think so. So anyway, yes, thank you for that, for your reviews. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, you're following directions. These guys are recording at 1 a.m. like lunatics. So
they
whatever you want to say, thank you so much for that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your crime and sports and small town murder needs. If you're not listening to Small Town Murder and you like this show, that just doesn't make sense. You should absolutely be listening to that. If
you
you're
also think birds are robots?
That you probably do, and you flat Earth and everything else. So that's the group where we're going to put you in if you don't listen to. You believe in flat Earth if you don't listen to Small Town Murder. Okay, sorry, you're labeled. Enjoy. So head over there for all of that. Get your merchandise. Tons of new stuff up there all the time. New designs we've just put up, and especially get your tickets to upcoming live shows.
Wow, are they great?
There's so much. We have a couple of amazing stories this year for Small Town Murder, and there's going to be a few more of them that we're adding to the rotation. But we just had fun in Louisville and Indy, and
holy shit.
Lots of fun. Can't wait for San Francisco next month and Detroit and Cincinnati. And like we said, there's a Crime and Sports that we're going to announce for the fall, a Crime and Sports live show. So buckle up, get ready for that. We're going to do that.
And thank you guys for selling these out. We haven't had a not sold out one yet.
We're 4 for 4 so far. So thank you so much. And 3 of the cities we've never been to before, and they sold out in big theaters, and we're just shocked.
Crazy.
So thank you. So we're throwing down as hard as we can and really trying to provide amazing shows as good as we can.
What we're capable of.
Right. Speaking of what we're capable of, we're capable of giving you an insane story today and the Scummie Awards.
Great.
To follow the story, of course, the 2019, basically. Scummie Awards. Holy shit, is it going to be amazing. We have so many
Sorry, this suit's so wrinkled.
That's the thing. Getting off the plane. That's getting off the plane to take the tux out of the suitcase. It's wrinkled up. It didn't have a chance to dry. We look. There's still pageantry. Don't get us wrong. There's pageantry. Charm. There's everything. It's more than the Oscars. It's more than the Grammys or the Tonys or some Kennedy Center honors or whatever. A Nobel Prize. No, it's a Scummie. It's way more important. It holds a lot more weight. So very stoned with my esteemed panel of Frankie and Benny at 3:00 in the morning have put together. It's very, very good. It's very official. We'll say that. But let's get into this story.
Outstanding.
Because it's bonkers. Let's do this. we ask, of course. This is a soccer episode, football, as you like to say over there. So, as always, we ask that you find our ignorance charming because we don't know shit. So, for non-soccer fans, this is going to be good for you because we're not going to talk about a lot of stats or games because we don't know shit. So, we've established through other soccer episodes that we don't know what that means and we don't know what this means. So, we're not going to say that again. We're just going to go through the craziness that happens because our guy here isn't a real stat guy anyway.
Right.
He's just a lunatic. Let's get to it. It is Vincent Peter Jones, better known as Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
You don't know him. You don't think you know him, but you know who he is.
I do.
You 100% know. I love when I present somebody that I know Jimmie knows, but he doesn't know he knows him.
Did he play for the Expos?
He did not play for the Royals or the Expos, but he's been in like 90 movies.
Really?
And you've seen a bunch of them. So
he was in shit movies, huh?
He's been in some shit. He's been in some shit. Wait till you see it.
He's been in my kind of movies?
He's been in everything. Let's talk about him. Vinnie Jones, born January 5th, 1965. Mm-hmm. He's born in Watford, Hertfordshire.
Yeah.
Hertfordshire.
That's England?
No, that's Kentucky. It's Western Kentucky where we just came.
Right over there.
I have to say one thing about Kentucky people. We were just in Louisville, and those people were the polite, most... I didn't hear one bit of chatter.
No chatter?
One shut the fuck up was thrown at any audience members.
Yeah.
It was they were almost like, look, we got a bad reputation, God damn it. Let's keep it together.
Right.
Jesus Christ. People thinking bad shit. If they're going to think we're going to be fucking throwing our scissors around and hitting each other with beer cans.
I didn't see anybody's toes out.
No, people had shoes on.
Shirts.
It
was nuts.
A lot of teeth I saw. Shoes. It was crazy.
Belts, not just rope.
No, belts. It was crazy. People were going out without their overalls on. It was amazing.
They looked great.
Thank you for doing that. Thanks for pulling it together for us, for coming there.
And then brought a bottle of booze. And like when we asked who brought this, it was silence, and a man raised his hand.
Yeah. No, it wasn't stupid. Raised his hand and we said, thank you very much. It was the most polite crowd. You guys are amazing over there in Kentucky. We're so happy with that.
Unbelievable.
What a great group of people. They laughed at everything. They weren't just like quiet. They were laughing when they were supposed to laugh, and they were quiet when they were supposed to be quiet. It was textbook. You guys are the model. Blown away.
Yeah.
So he's from Watford here. Now, Watford, I guess, they manufactured the Mosquito fighter bomber and the Halifax bomber there, and north of Watford. And when they stopped manufacturing bombers in these plants, they converted it into Leavesden Film Studios, which is where they make the Harry Potter films.
Really?
So yeah, that's what that turned into.
It's an old bomber building.
Yeah, you're seeing those kids full of wonder and delight. They were building things to just liquefy Germans at some point in there.
With rage.
Yeah,
there was so much anger in that
revenge.
building. Right.
With revenge in their hearts. And now it's magic and whimsy. Isn't that wonderful? So it's a different thing completely.
They're going to make a ginger a hero.
Totally different. That's hard to make.
It is.
Hard to make a ginger hero. We tried. Remember Marinovich? Jesus. So,
did their best.
It's just, we try. So Vinny's parents here, his father, Peter, that's his middle name, is a gamekeeper, which I hear I always hear gamekeeper thrown around in the UK way more than over here.
What is that? Is that a goalkeeper?
No. I think he actually keeps track of animals, keeps track of game.
That kind of game.
Yeah, game. He makes sure that there's people aren't poaching and killing too many, whatever the hell.
So he's like the forest ranger here.
I think so, kind of, but it's like I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's a bizarre.
Again, whatever this English shit, we don't know. It's so hard to figure out because it's so close, but it's like one thing off where you're like, what does that mean? Is it this or that?
Could go another way.
We don't know, and we've never been there. So ignorance is charming.
The gamekeeper.
The gamekeeper, yeah. Peter the gamekeeper, his father. Sounds like a Game of Thrones character. Now his mother was Glenda, who she had gone to she's very smart and shit like that. She went to college and everything. His parents are pretty working class. Yeah. They're like a working class family. They're very conservative, though. Really? They're known as conservative. Yeah, they're politically, they're very conservative people and shit like that here. Now, Vinnie started playing soccer at about 5 years old.
Yeah.
Because over there, I mean, soccer's... Yeah, in 1970, it would be like an American kid picking up a baseball glove. It's the same shit.
As soon as you've got the muscle strength.
Coordination.
And motor skills to kick the ball.
You lose those baby giraffe legs. Right. Get out there and then throw them in there. He said that he got, in a game when he was 5, he had his first ever hat trick. And it was he was so happy. Yeah, he's a good little player.
5 years old, he's got 3 goals.
Well, think about how terrible the other kids are at 5. If you're even slightly coordinated at 5, you're just going to destroy all the other kids. They're going to be, it's one of those things.
My boy played at that age. It's adorable.
Remember the kid in Little League who was like 6'1"?
Right.
You're like, well, this isn't fair.
No,
he's just wrecking the ball, and everybody else is kind of pudgy and 5'6". And you're like, what's happening here?
Like my kid at 5 had a kid that was the same age, looked 9 with like long hair. It was crazy. Kid had had amazing hair, and he's like running around, and his hair's like blowing in the wind, and he's just fucking drilling goals from 30 feet out.
He's got what's his name? Jesus, AJ Hawk hair.
Yes,
flowing out of the back of his helmet.
Crazy. It's not fair. I was jealous. I'm mad at this kid.
Look at this little prick. Look at
this little bastard.
Don't show me his dick. I'm going to cry. I'll fucking cry. I swear to God.
Athletic prowess and hair?
I will shed a tear if his dick is bigger than mine. This is not fair. Jimmy's going to plot murder against his young boy. You have too much.
I will hang you by your ponytail,
you
boy.
Don't appreciate what you have. He's going to shave it off and glue it to his head.
Matter of fact,
what do you think of this now?
Matter of fact, my kid has longer hair now because I'm pretty sure it's because that little motherfucker was so good at soccer, so young. He was like, I just want anything that kid's got.
I just want to flow in the wind.
I can grow my hair.
I'm doing it. So, Jesus Christ. But he remembered the hat trick Vinnie did because he said he swore to himself he'd never forget it. That was like, I'm going to remember this. This is a triumphant moment here. He says that he was kind of a cut up when he was a little kid. Basically, he could have gone into the realm of trouble as a kid very, very easily. Because as we'll find out, he's definitely got it in him. And I have to also say this: I like this guy. There's just when we talk about him, the shit he does, you kind of like him. I don't know what it is. You just kind of got to go. You know what? I kind of fucking get it.
Root for his dickery.
I kind of like him. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things here. So he said that soccer was the thing that he could concentrate on. Like a lot of kids. A lot of the people we talk about, if they didn't have sports, they would be in prison when they're 16 years old. A lot of our athletes that we talk about, they have tendencies that are bad. They come from kind of, sometimes not the best home situation, and the structure of a sport kind of keeps them together.
Less economical advantages and opportunities will lead you down that path. And if you got hard. That's an outlet.
If you have something where you're like, I go here after school, and I don't go dick around and hang out with my friends. I go there for like 3 hours, and then I'm tired. So I come home and I try to eat something and I go to bed, and I got to get up the next morning and play sports. It's
only those 3 boys in New York had that opportunity.
Yeah.
The ones that stabbed that girl.
Yeah. Oh,
Jesus.
Fuck, man.
That's what it is, though. That's what happens.
That sucks, yeah.
They get into a position where they're like, let's just go robbing.
That's the worst, because you see shit like that and you're like, okay, that's an 18-year-old girl. That's horrible. Then you look at the kids and because you're like, oh, what fucking monsters. Then you look at the kids and you're like, oh, they're fucking children. Right. Jesus Christ. What happened to them?
Right.
What's going on?
Blame on the systemic issues.
What happened?
Granted,
what happened?
Right. Granted, they shouldn't be making those decisions.
The one kid's 13.
What led them to think that shit's okay?
The one kid. Think about this. The one kid's 13. Now my son's 12. He's going to be 13 in 2 weeks.
Unreal.
Can you imagine my son? But he wouldn't even say hello to people.
Right.
He'd go, hi. And he'd keep walking. He would be so.
His birthday was 2 weeks ago. He's upstairs unwrapping a bunch of those little fucking, I don't know. How do you describe those? It's like an unboxing thing. The kids get it. It's a thing.
He got an early
little
birthday
toys,
present.
right?
Yeah. He likes shit like that.
The small toys that you put together. And I'm like, Joey, those are great. And he goes, I love you, Jimmy.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
That's not like a kid that would be stabbing a woman in a fucking hallway.
There's a problem there, is what I'm getting at. Something happened that's an issue where you have to feel like Christ almighty, well, you have to feel just as bad for the kid almost because they obviously had something bad.
Right.
They weren't raised beautifully and perfect. They're like, let's go stab a chick in the park. Right. And another kid that was raised well was like, yeah, great. Sounds good.
There are 4 victims there.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often. Yeah, that's what I mean. The whole thing is a disaster.
Well, I mean, there's a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old. I don't know the third one. They say there's 3 people. That kid could be fucking 25.
It could be a 25-year-old trying to, who knows?
Showing those kids how to do things. Who knows? But if it's another kid that's like 12, there's a huge fucking problem.
That's a problem. Yeah,
that's an enormous problem. We have no control over.
Yeah, no, obviously not. We can't do anything
I can't do
about
fuck
it.
about
we
that.
We can barely control our own kids.
I've got an 11-year-old that talks back to me.
I was going to say, nobody else's kids. Jesus. The hell are we going to do?
Right.
So, but Vinny here, he said this helped him, and I guess talent helps too if you're talented and you're kind of drug in that direction. And he is talented because here's a quote for him. Well, you know what? Let's do it in their own words. What do you say here? Let's get it in their own words going off the bat here. In their own words, quote, I signed schoolboy forms for Watford when I was 12.
Oh, my.
Then my parents divorced and I never kicked a ball for 3 years. I rebelled. I left home, but getting back into football sorted me out. It was the second chance I needed.
Yeah.
So from 12 to 15, apparently he didn't do shit. No, I guess he was.
He signed paperwork.
He signed paperwork at 12.
12.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. I'm sorry. That's nuts that happens there. You guys are like, yeah, look at that kid. He's in 6th grade. Let's sign him up.
His signature matters to something.
He doesn't even have a signature. Right. He just writes it in block letters. But, you have to have a signature before you can sign shit. That should be a rule.
I signed something. Yeah. Anybody can sign your signature, kid.
Yeah, you just wrote it.
You got typewriter font.
Yeah, nice job. It's a little messy, too.
Right.
We can easy to duplicate. Apparently, Vinny's a midfielder here. Also, when he was 12 years old, so a lot of things happen. His parents getting divorced.
Right.
He also meets a girl when he's 12.
Okay.
A girl named Tanya, who he really kind of likes her, and but they're like friends, and then they kind of go out on a couple dates when they're about 16. We'll talk about that in a little while. And then that's it, though. They just,
no more.
No, they just kind of go their separate ways, and we'll talk about it. But in 1984 is when his career kind of really began here. He's 19 years old, and he plays for, I'm going to say this, I'm sure I won't pronounce this right, Wealdston. You get it wrong. Wealdston. There you go.
Okay.
But it'll be something else. It'll be something else, Jimmy. That sounds logical. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
But do you think that's right?
Probably. No,
it's not right. It's not fucking right. It's never right. It's never right. We've never been right once with one of the pronunciations, ever. It's never happened.
We've never been right.
Never.
Yeah.
Even if I hear it said by an English person and say it that way, they're like, yeah, no, it's not like that. Fuck.
Why?
I suck. So anyway, the Alliance, this is the Alliance Premier League in 1984-85 season. They're in that. It's known as the Gola League that year for sponsorship reasons. They actually sold the name of the league to a sponsor, Gola, who makes like soccer and tennis shoes.
That's wild.
I looked them up. They kind of look like knockoff Adidas.
Like Goala?
It's Gola.
Oh.
So they just like Gola would have made sense.
Just fucking switch the 2 last letters?
That's it. Make a goal shoes there. He was apparently at this point, because he's not making much money doing this, they make a little stipend or something. He's not only playing football, he's working as a hod carrier on building sites at the same time.
What the hell are they?
There you go. Here we go. Another
What are you carrying?
So what are we on? Page 2 here, and we're already we know nothing. We can't pronounce the cities. I
don't know what he does. I don't know where he's at.
No. Apparently a brick hod, I looked this up, I had to, is a 3-sided box for carrying bricks and other building shit and mortar and stuff like that. It's got a long handle and you carry it over your shoulder.
Oh my God.
So it's a hod is usually long enough to accept 4 bricks on their side.
Get a wheelbarrow, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what this
Why would you? You're still lugging the bricks around?
Let's finish the explanation. We'll figure this out, because we got to try to make a diagram here. However, by arranging the bricks in a chevron fashion.
Yeah, that's that logo where it's like.
Is it like the logo? Is it like a
is
V
it like
sort of?
Yeah.
Okay. The number of bricks that can be carried is only limited to the weight the laborer can bear and the unwieldiness of that load. It'll tip over.
How many can you hold, fucker?
Typically 10 to 12 bricks may be carried.
Oh my God.
Which is a lot. That's pretty, Hod carrying is a laboring occupation in the building industry. Typically, the hod carrier or hottie, that's the most British sounding job ever. I'm a hottie, eh? And you'd be like, what? You're a what?
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck does that mean?
It's different in America. That's somebody you want to fuck.
Yeah, in a very Cockney accent, too. You'd be like, I don't know what that is. I can't understand.
It's an awfully fancy name for a brick toter.
Yeah, I would say so. A hottie will be employed by a bricklaying team in a supporting role to the bricklayers. 2 bricklayers for each hod carrier is typical, apparently. The hottie's duties may include wetting the mortar boards on the scaffolding prior to fetching bricks from the delivery pallet using his hod and bringing them up there to be laid so the bricklayers can lay them down easily. And this is this is a ball breaking job.
Yeah,
is what we're getting at.
It's not easy. That's a fucking tough one. But you're essentially just going and getting the tool. You know what I mean? You're the guy that's like going and grabbing the wrench for the mechanic. Yeah, same thing.
And this is what you do in a day. The baseline rate for a bricklayer is to lay 1,000 bricks a day. Okay. So the hod carrier serving 2, so they must move 2,000 bricks a day.
Oh my God.
Though it's not uncommon, they say, for them to serve 3 bricklayers, making it more like 3,000.
Oh, it's such backbreaking work.
The world record. Yeah. There's a hottie world record.
Oh, boy.
The world record for moving 500 bricks by hod is 12 minutes. Set by a guy named John Logan in 2011.
So fast.
That's crazy that's a record. Somebody timed that.
Yeah.
But
somebody was like,
a lot.
I need this documented.
I want to feel worse. Dude was 46 when he did that.
Oh, fuck.
Right?
What a life. At 46, you're not even a bricklayer yet?
I don't want to do that now. Jesus, I don't want to do that. I'm not 46 yet. I don't want to carry bricks like that. That sounds terrible. So, January 6th, 86, here, he's bought by Wimbledon. Okay. Not the tennis tournament, the team. The town's team here. Wimbledon, there. Now, Wimbledon was, they ended up moving later on. It's crazy. But yeah, they apparently in the 80s, and they started out in the shits. They were in the 4th division in the early 80s, which, remember, we've gone over the tiers. Right. If you're new to this and don't know anything about soccer, you're join the club. Yeah. We're with you. Yeah. But in addition to that, we did find out that the teams, they have a tier system. Right. There's the 1st tier teams and the 2nd tier teams and the 3rd tier teams and the 4th tier teams. Right. And the teams can move up tiers. Yeah. If you're really good and another team sucks,
you don't belong here.
You'll jump tiers. So you could be in the 1st tier. 3 years later, you could be in the shits bottom of the 3rd tier, because if your team sucks, which is pretty goddamn cool.
I like it.
It's a lot of pressure to keep these your roster up, and you can there's upward movement. Yeah. It's cool. So after force, they were in the 4th division. By 1986, they got to the 1st division. Okay. This team, so that's a really quick ascent. Like, they got really good, really, really fast, and they had a different. We'll talk about their seating here, their stadium, because there was a major catastrophe at another stadium, which caused them to change regulations, which meant they couldn't play at this stadium anymore.
The crowding?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I got the kind of some stats on that.
I've seen that.
Oh, it's crazy. So I remember as a little kid seeing it on like Sports Center and just being like, "Oh my God!"
I saw it just recently.
It's scary,
and it is the most anxiety-inducing videos I've ever. It's horrible.
You're just like, stop!
Oh my God!
Everybody stop!
Why is it? Why are we? What are we doing?
There's
a fucking fence.
There's a fence and there's people there. What the hell is wrong with you?
Stop pushing.
So 1986 here also, he ends up playing a little bit in Sweden. Mm-hmm. They send him over to Sweden for a club called IFK Holmsund in 86. I don't know. Apparently they won the Division 3 title, that team, so good for them. Now the disaster it's called the Hillsborough disaster. Yes. It's April 15th, 1989, and it was at Hillsborough Stadium in Sheffield, and it was a game between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest.
Oh, so it was a big game.
It was FA Cup semifinal. Okay, as we'll talk about. That's why there were so many people there, and the way they kind of divide the fans like prison over there. They would do it basically like segregate the visiting team's fans from the
like
home
high school
team.
Football.
Exactly. Right. That's how they would do it. So that's what ended up happening. They would relegate kind of this many for this this, amount of their fans. We'll put them in this many pens, the way they would put it. And then it turns out that more showed up than they thought, and they just stuffed more in there.
There were so many.
And that's what ended up happening here. This shit it's nuts, man. They
just rushed. Everybody rushed towards the front to try to, I don't know if they were trying to watch. What were they even? I don't remember what they were doing.
The whole point, the problem was there was overcrowding outside the turnstiles.
Right.
So the people weren't coming in on time. They weren't going to have to be able to start the game on time. So the police guy who was in charge there ordered another gate opened that would let more people into these pens here, and this led to a huge crowding all at once.
A rush for that gate. That's right.
And it crushed everybody against the fence. 96 people died.
Wow.
766 injuries.
Oh, my God.
That's insane.
That's worse than like an Al-Qaeda bombing.
96? That's crazy.
So many people.
96 and 766 hurt is insane. That's a huge terrororist attack type numbers. Like, that's a fucking crazy.
Whoa.
And that was just accident.
To watch football.
Just to watch football. That was a huge. They had a huge inquiry over it here. A guy named Lord Justice Taylor. Yeah. Lord and Justice. Watch out for him. When the Lord's slinging the justice, you got to be careful. He's dispensing it here. So that's a problem. So that they finally published this report in 1990, and they made it so there has to be all these different safety things. So you can't just stuff a bunch of people into a pen and let them crush each other. And that's what ended up happening here. I think they had to they either had to completely get like a new stadium that would accommodate this shit. Basically, before that, they had stadiums where people weren't seated. Everybody was standing. So they made a rule that everybody has to have a seat now. You can't sell a ticket without a seat. It's called all-seaters. It's what it's called.
They should make a rule that people have to be mature enough to be able to mingle with the other team's fans.
That's the other thing.
That's how
that helps.
They are so vicious.
Well, chairs help.
Right.
Chairs do help. But also, it helps for a rush. It's hard to rush over a shitload of fucking seats, chairs that are in the ground in the like at a baseball. So you never see that because there's a bunch of chairs slowing everybody down.
Visual place of where you're supposed to be.
That's what. Exactly. There's a chair. It's not just an open thing where everybody can squish like that. This is like a concert.
They got to calm the fuck down with what team do you support?
Yeah, they're crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ. It's not a support thing. I just like them.
Yeah, I gotta say that. Yeah, passion's awesome, first of all.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's crazy fans of all sports. Right. They're insane. Yeah. I mean, look at NFL fans. There's some crazy fucks that dress up nuts and have no shirt on in Green Bay in December. It's crazy. There's some nuts out there. Yeah. But outside of... And the Raiders even moved. So outside of Oakland, there's not a lot of violence, though, that goes on in these stadiums. Philly, a little bit. They had to put a jail in theirs.
It's been a minute since you've heard anything.
It's disorderly. It's two fat fucks.
Right.
It's two fat, linemen who are, they got these season tickets near each other. They're always chirping at each other, and one gets pissed off and throws a cheesesteak at the other one. And next thing you know, he punches him in his mustache. And then they end up in the little jail. It's not a fucking stampede where 96 people die.
Right.
It's too much here.
And I've seen videos where like a dude gets flattened in the stands because he's drunk and mouths off, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, fuck that guy."
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, don't mouth off. Watch your alcohol intake. Hold your liquor.
And then you got a bunch of Niners fans high-fiving Seahawks fans, and they're like, "Yeah, that guy's a dick. Yeah. Let's throw him out."
Team up against the asshole. Find one asshole and take it out on him, and everybody else get along and don't crush each other. So November of 1986, he comes back to Wimbledon from Sweden here, and he got his first goal in only his second game for Wimbledon, which was pretty cool, in a 1-0 win over Manchester United. It was like a big deal. It was the only goal of the game. And so he right away kind of made himself a fixture on the team and somebody who was kind of indispensable, not because of his goal scoring or anything like that, or none of that kind of shit. Mainly because he scared the living shit out of everybody. He was the guy who, we've talked about a lot of hockey enforcers, Bob Probert or an LB or guys like that, Lyndon Byers there, different guys. But in soccer, there used to be those guys too. Yeah. And this is like the top one craziest, watch your ass, nutcase, beat the shit out of people. guy.
And they kept him because of it. They needed him.
Oh, he was the intimidator. I mean, he would scare the shit out of people. He was great. Their part of this team was called the Crazy Gang.
Oh, boy.
They called them. They were a bunch of lunatics, and it was a different game then. It was like hockey used to be, where you could have a team that was just rugged and was just tougher than another team, and they could grind out wins, whereas now they've made it so it's open and it's all about speed and talent and things like that. Whereas back then, it wasn't so much about, you could will yourself to win if you were tougher than the other people, and it was that sort of game, basically.
Hockey too, and soccer very similarly. The goal itself is rarely very artistic. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you'll see a guy like reach the stick around the whole goal and like just slide it in. You're like, how the
things
fuck
like
did he do
that,
that?
or just those little fake wristers where a guy can put it right where he wants to in the net, upper right hand corner, pow, and you're like, Jesus.
A goddamn slap shot from 20 feet away isn't very artistic. It's just sheer
muscle,
will and muscle to get it. And soccer very similarly.
Yeah, hockey used to be able to grind shit out back in the day, much like even in the NBA. You could have, back in the day, you could have a less talented team that was physical in the 70s and 80s, and then by the 90s they started to lock that shit down. Well, it still happened with like the 90s Heat. Yeah. They weren't very talented. They were always in the playoffs. Like, those PJ Brown crap teams. Yeah. They were okay, but them and the Knicks would be like an 8 fist fights a game every playoff series. Because they were, I mean, the Knicks had Oakley and Ewing and Mason in the front line.
It was just they were the most scrappy street fighting team of the 90s.
Oh, they just wanted to fight you.
You either hated them or loved them, and they were very much like the Raiders, but they were always very, very good, and you didn't want to watch your team have to play them.
No, because it was going to be if they were playing the Bulls, Jordan was going to feel it at the end of the day. Yeah, he was going to get Starks was going to be fouling him and hanging on him and trying to stop him. And anyway, so I found a line here from some soccer, some big soccer thing. I don't know what the hell publication it is, but it's just one line where he says, quote, "Through the midfield into his territory was dealt with in no uncertain terms." That's just, you should be scared.
He had a section of the field.
If you come in there,
there's going to be
like a safety in football. If this receiver's doing a crossing, I'm going to just light him up. I'm going to destroy him. That's kind of what he did.
15-yard square. Don't come in it.
Yeah. Vinny said, quote, "If you walked into our house, there were fireworks." That's his thing here. It was all aggression and shit like that. They also said that like they even made it so the visiting locker room sucked there. They wanted it to be as they put it, a hostile facility in all shape and fashion.
It should be like that in every sport.
Well, a lot of them is, but now with the new stadiums, it's more,
everything's beautiful.
Well, because they want to have all-star games and shit like that. So in order to have that
Super Bowl,
we did a tour of Wrigley when we did Chicago last time, and we were in the visitors clubhouse. It's part of the tour, and they do and they talk about how this used to be a total piece of shit. It was a little concrete room with a bunch of people crammed in, but we wanted to have the all-star game, and in order to have the all-star game, we had to have facilities. Had to have nice facilities. You can't ask a bunch of stars to go there and cram themselves into a concrete thing. They'll just say, "I'll stay home."
I'd love to go to Wrigley for the fanfare and prestige of playing in Wrigley, but I don't want to sit in a fucking concrete bunker.
Yeah, this is shit.
It looks like some place that Hitler committed suicide.
This is it's the
it's the underground bunker.
The Goebbels family fucking suicide chamber. This is great. Look at this. Fantastic.
Goebbels family.
So, whole family.
That sounds disgusting, those two words together.
Yeah, it does. It does. Especially knowing what happened.
Yeah.
It's even worse. So, yeah, this was a real... they were just, if you were on this team too, there was a lot of hazing. This is a bunch of, they wanted to make sure you were tough enough to hang there, basically.
You had to earn it.
You had to earn it. They said that they would haze a lot. A guy who was, Wally Downs, who was a midfielder, he would fuck with these kids, I guess. When they'd sign kids, he would just break them down and make fun of them constantly and call them names and give them nicknames and just brutalize them to see if they could take it. They would drag them across, the snowy, like if it snowed out there, they'd drag them across the fields, like, just to mess with them. This is nice. Tied kids to the roof of the car and then drove them down the highway. Like a fallen deer.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, shit like that.
How you got to trust a soccer player's knots?
And they're all drunk.
Yeah,
they're all shit-faced.
They barely tie their shoes well.
Yeah, tie him up. All right.
Put him on the roof. What? No.
Vinnie said, quote, you either grew a backbone quickly or dissolved as a man.
Yeah.
No shit. They all sorts of shit, man. Some of them are like good natured, they said, and some of them were a little too much. One, I guess, a younger player. There was a guy named John. I'm not sure it's pronounced wrong. Fashanu.
Yeah.
I guess he was like one of the captains of the team, and kid got mouthy with him, I guess. So this guy basically beat the living shit out of him in the locker room. They said he threw him around, quote, like a rag doll, and his calf was shattered to pieces. He got like injured him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just fucked him up.
Broke his fucking leg?
Yeah, and the Fashanu guy said, quote, to get respect, you needed an element of fear. Okay, not on your own team.
Yeah. You're supposed to have some respect there.
Another player said, quote, I had my shoes nailed to the floor and what the hell is this? And something in my pants straight away. Ralgex? I don't know. Ralgex? I don't know what
sounds
that is.
Like some sort of
cleaning
chemical.
product, chemical in my pants straight away. The manager, Dave Bassett, might not have liked it, but he didn't have a say. We'd travel, and it was Dave's bed more often than not would end up outside his room or on one occasion in the swimming pool.
Oh, Jesus.
So they're even torturing their manager.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit, these
Throw
guys.
his bed in the pool.
Yeah, these guys are just crazy. They're like the 70s Raiders, basically. That's what we have here.
Or Lawrence Taylor's Giants.
Well, yeah, but they were still kind of fucking straight.
Were they contained?
They were a little, except for LT, they were contained.
Oh, that guy's a menace.
Yeah, everybody else, Harry Carson was like a straight place. Yeah, they were mostly contained. Phil Simms is the biggest dork in the world. Like the Raiders in the 70s, Ken Stabler was their quarterback. He's the craziest son of a bitch going. He's nuts.
Yeah.
Drunk all the time.
Bolitnikov's a lunatic.
Oh, they're all crazy. All those 70s Raiders are when you like read a book about the 70s Raiders, you can't help but like the 70s. They're awesome. Just a bunch of loons that they put together.
I forget the Mad Stork's real name, but his face, he had nothing to lose. You may as well just be a madman.
All these guys
run your
were
face
crazy.
through glass. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
His face looks horrible.
They were all like on their last chance and shit like that. Like it was just great. Awesome team. Bunch of personality on that team. And they would try to scare the shit out of people. That was their thing. Vinnie said, quote, if you couldn't handle the stripping and the pranks and the abuse, you were fucked out. Simple as that.
The phrases.
I love it. He's
Straight
good.
away.
This one's good too.
Out.
People hated playing us, and who could blame them? This wasn't just a football team. It was an attack on the senses. It was the crazy gang. Oh, yeah. That's what he said. And I guess nowadays it's way more ticky-tacky with the rules. Like they will give you fouls all over the place for your.
That's why they flop.
For all sorts of shit for being too aggressive and spiking people and things like that. But back then it was a little different story. Vinnie was considered like a playground player almost, like that kind of guy, like a scary, just a frightening man. So he would spike people in the legs and shit like that. He was a mean son of a bitch.
Sliding in with his shoes, by the way.
Yeah, I guess you can. You got cleats on, spikes, and you
let some people know what that
stab
one is.
him. Yeah, that's true. Good call. Thank you for that. So he loved getting in trouble. He got kicked out of 13 different games over the course of his career, which is good. He's 9th all time in career red cards.
9th all time.
9th all time with 13.
That's not very good, actually.
Well, the number one guy has 46.
That's it?
40, and it's twice. It's a guy, he must have just been trying to stab people with his cleats after a while, taking them off and swinging them at people's faces. But this guy, it was Gerardo Bedoya. I think he was a Colombian guy. Jesus Christ, he had 46 of them. And then later on, recently, in the last few years, he was hired as a manager for one of the Colombian teams.
Yeah.
And in his first game as a manager, he went into the stands and fought a fan.
What?
First game.
Wow.
Number one. Just letting everybody know what kind of party this is. I will not have my fucking strategies questioned. I'm sorry.
I'm going to set the tone of my tenure right now.
I'm going into the stands, and this is crazy. But, I mean, he had 46. The second place guy in career red cards has 27. So that's way more. It's just way more.
Almost doubled him.
Yeah. They said on Wimbledon, this is the manager said this, quote, in this club, the only hooligans are the players, which is great.
Yeah.
Just fantastic.
That's what you need.
Now, 1988 is possibly his most famous thing ever. And he's done a lot of things famous, but this, as far as in soccer goes, is apparently a really legendary thing.
Right.
And it's totally understandable, because if there was a picture like this in basketball, it'd be the greatest picture ever, and they'd never stop showing it. So, how do you say this guy's name? Because I know you know the Paul...
Vinny?
No, the other guy, Paul
Gascioni.
That
I think
guy.
that's what it is.
I think that's what it is. Gascioni, whatever the fuck it is, they call him Gaza. I know that guy. Okay. He's a really good player at this point for Newcastle in 1988. And Vinny's job was to make him not have a good game. Fuck him up, get in his way, don't let him hurt us, intimidate him, and that sort of thing. Now, Paul says about Vinny, quote, "He approached me and said, 'My name is Vinnie Jones. I'm a gypsy. I earn a lot of money. I'm going to rip your ear off with my teeth, and I'm going to spit it out on the grass. You're fat.'" Then he called him fat. He said, "You're also fat."
Okay.
That's amazing. "My name is Vinnie Jones.
Yes.
I'm a gypsy. I earn a lot of money. I'm going to rip your ear off with my teeth, and I'm going to spit it out on the grass. You're also fat."
He saw The Princess Bride and was like, that line could be punched up.
And by the way, that too. "I'm a gypsy. I earn a lot of money."
Right.
That's just hilarious. I don't know why that's so, as an intro.
Yeah.
Because he said, "My name is Vinnie Jones."
Right.
Like, and he's giving his stats,
My name is
basically.
Inigo Montoya.
Yeah. Let me give you a rundown. Here's my resume. I'm a gypsy. Earn a lot of money. Oh, by the way, I'd like to rip your ear off and spit it on the ground.
Hell of a waistline you got.
That's pretty nice. You fat fuck. Did I mention that? Take a piece out of your love handles too there, Chief.
Yeah.
So apparently, this Gaza got knocked to shit. Paul whatever the hell you say his name, got knocked down a lot, a shitload. Vinny spit on him at one point, all this sort of shit. And then, okay, this is fucking amazing. He said that after he did this particular thing, Gaza said, quote, "He is the only player I've come to fear." Oh. All right. So what
and
did...
that Gascon guy?
He's crazy.
He's a bad man.
He's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
He's an absolute maniac, that guy. We've been sent... please do an episode on him and all this type of shit.
It's coming, don't worry.
Yeah, oh, absolutely here. I'd like to show you the picture, Jimmy. Oh, what's that? I don't know what just happened there. That's the picture.
Oh my God, he reached behind. He's walking away from him.
Follow, if you don't know, it's not going to be on our social media at Crime and Sports.
He gave a reach behind. It's not even a reach around. And his menacing grimace of how hard he is squeezing this man's testicles.
His ball bag with all that he has. And he's like trying to hide it. Like, look at that motherfucker from the back.
Paul is so disturbed by it. He's obviously going, "Hi."
Yeah, you can tell there's no sound coming out of his mouth. He wants there to be sound, but there's nothing there.
He could say, "Ah."
That's all.
He wants to say stop. He can't say out.
Look at Vinny. He's so flexed. Even his thighs are like blowing. Look at his forearm.
He's squeezing the man's testicles from his own thighs.
He's using his legs. You squeeze balls with your legs. Things you pick up boxes and couches with your legs. You got to put your legs in.
Throw the energy from the balls of your heels.
When you throw a punch, it's all on the back leg. When you're pitching, it's all in the back leg. When you're squeezing a man's nutsack
from the back.
Yeah, when you're trying to make
when you're reaching back, it's all in the front of the thigh.
Unable to have children, you really want to do that. Look at his forearm strain.
He's
fucking squeezing him.
You can see his what is that?
Face. He's like, you like that, motherfucker?
Is that the radial bone?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's the greatest picture. It'll be on this episode's thing. So follow us at Crime and Sports if you're just listening to this.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The definition of the man's body you can see because he is squeezing so hard.
And it's so famous because this shot, that shot was in the front page. You're not going to not show that.
And Gascon doesn't want to grab his arm because he's afraid.
He doesn't know what to do. Right. Just squeeze harder. It's like he's got a gun in his mouth at that point.
Or he yanks away while pulling like that.
What else he's got a grip.
Right.
So it's like,
at that point, you just follow him.
You have to. Yeah, I think that's like...
Where are we going?
It's like an old lady grabbing you by the ear when you're a child.
That's what it is.
Go with it, except
same thing.
Way worse.
It's the soccer hooligan form of an old lady grabbing your ear.
Perfect. He was asked by a fan, he had like I'll answer letters, like an open thing, and they said, exactly what possessed you to feel Paul Gascoigne's package? And he said, quote, he was annoying me and wouldn't stop, and I thought I'd stop him once and for all. Simple as that. He was annoying me.
Right.
So I reached back and nearly pulled his cock off. and spiked it on the pitch. Oh my God! Was that count as something?
I warned him. I told him I'm a gypsy.
I said I'm a gypsy and I make a lot of money. What the fuck part of that don't you understand?
Obviously, I will spike your cock.
I mean, why do you think they pay me so much? Being a gypsy, it would probably be because I'll rip your balls off.
I'm gonna see if I can lawn dart your dick if you keep it up.
God damn it! Fucking unreal, man. So they were. They were really just a really difficult team for people to deal with here. And in 1988, they become a really, really good team. They're in the first tier. They're kicking some ass here. They make it all the way to the final game, whatever FA Cup game. And it's at Wembley Stadium here, 98,000 people.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a big deal here. And they take on Liverpool, who are the reigning champions and kind of known as the best team. Right. So they're going to have to really muscle Liverpool here. And apparently there was some nerves and shit like that. And, they were trying to calm their nerves here. Basically, they were talking about how they would plan tackles in advance. Shit like that, like fuck people up in advance, like ahead of time. Okay, well, when we get the opportunity, we're gonna nail this guy and shit like that, which is brutal. But I mean, they do it in hockey and shit like that all the time.
They're drawing plays to hurt people.
Yeah, well,
what are they, the fucking Saints?
No shit. Vinny said about one thing. Apparently, it was a big penalty to save a goal, and he said, "quote We watched so many videos. If Dave Beesant hadn't gone the right way, I'd have killed him." Yeah. So he was just attacking people here. They'll end up winning the game 1-0.
Really?
And it's like a huge upset and a giant big deal. I mean, this team was in the 4th tier a few years ago, and now they're beating the reigning champions and all this type of shit. And they absolutely just beat the shit out of Liverpool that day, apparently. And Vinny was a big part of it. He said leading up to it, they were all nerves. Yeah. He said, quote, "We were scratching the walls in the run up to that game. So Gouldy, who was Wimbledon's manager at that point, Bobby Gould, gave us £100 to go down to the pub the night before to calm us all down." Imagine that's awesome. Yeah. That's the type of team this is. Right. That's like what John Madden would have said to the 70s. Right? Why don't you guys go out and tear up the town tonight and, come back fresh in the morning.
Blow off steam. Go be pirates. Be legit Raiders.
And then bring that tomorrow.
Then
that's what they did.
Be a little calm down tomorrow.
They would never say, you know what you guys need? To get shit-faced.
Right.
They would never say that to a team the night before the game. Now,
focus. Get hammered.
But they do. They did that. And now the other team here, a guy named John Barnes, talked about what they did, what Liverpool did to prepare. He said, quote, Barnes said that their lot was all bored before the game, having niggly arguments. That sounds racist.
It does?
It's not.
It doesn't sound good at all.
It's a little mini thing, I think, in English terms. Some playing cards, some playing table tennis. We were hanging from the chandeliers, raring to go.
Sounds like it.
Sounds boring.
Like a real party, boys.
Yeah, these guys are going out. Camp. That's what I mean. And then compared to those guys who are going out and getting drunk, probably getting in fights and
fingering somebody,
tearing people apart. So they win. They're champions, and through sheer will, they become champions. I'm going to say grace on here. He has some peaks and valleys, but let's just say grace here. In 1988, in August, he was fined 2 weeks' wages and suspended for 3 games by the FA for being sent off for elbowing. This is amazing. A preseason matchup on the Isle of Wight. I guess
doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't matter, and they're playing like these aren't professional teams. It's like an exhibition against the team. He elbowed a village postman who happened to be playing, some fucking guy who delivers mail. He decided to really let him know that I mean business, and
blasted him.
Yeah, he ends up getting suspended for that. In March of '88, also he was sent off for kicking a guy in the face as he lay on the ground.
Oh, Vinny
from Everton, a guy named Peter Reed was laying on the ground, and Vinny came up and kicked him in the face.
Unbelievable,
which is nice. And then the next time again they played that team, he got kicked out for an altercation with somebody else on the team. So he really hated them, apparently.
He's not a fan.
No. In April 89, he was fined £500 for making obscene gestures toward the Queen's Park Rangers players as 2 different times in the game, and then he ends up getting a 1-match suspension for that, and then for another match suspension for abusive gestures to Arsenal fans. Also, so apparently he's just giving everybody the finger.
Right.
Who knows what he's
I don't
doing.
know, man. A guy
giving
that'll
the English fucking
whatever, the shocker, my pussy or
the
whatever.
English V deal,
right.
whatever.
A man that will grab another player by the dick certainly has some
dirty
pretty vicious gestures locked and loaded.
Oh, he's dirty. Yeah, he's dirty.
That's the kind of guy that'll pull his own dick out and just like wave it at him aggressive.
Yeah, no shit.
Just like he'll hurt himself.
In 89, he was also kicked out for swearing at the officials and got fined 2 or suspended 2 games for that. July 1st, 89, he ends up being sold to Leeds United. So they were kind of breaking that team apart after that 88 big season. That's what happens. They said basically it's like Major League 2. Yeah. Like the egos kind of got it. People started thinking they were hot shit. And I'm the important guy. I'm the reason we're winning. And everybody would think that. And then they end up breaking up like a band.
Right.
And then nobody makes money. Stupids. What are you doing? How dumb are you?
Right.
Jesus Christ. So he goes to Leeds United. And there they just sell players. Mm-hmm. Like I think there's trades too. But most of what I see is just you just sell them to people.
That's a wild thought.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it this way, for some reason, trades seem like less,
it sounds
slavey.
Right?
But that's kind of trading humans for other humans is almost worse than money isn't it? I'll give you this person for that person.
It's still being done by quote unquote owners.
You're still stuck either way. Like you're still got
a monetary value.
You're still a cow, basically, a head of cattle.
It's weird.
You're a head that they're selling.
Right.
It's kind of strange, but it doesn't matter. So he's there for about a year. September 30th, he goes to Sheffield United. He's sold over there. I think it's passed around a little bit here. Now, he's going to end up having a son in 1991, a son named Aaron Jones. And he has that son with Tanya. Remember Tanya he met when he was 12?
When they were 2, and then things didn't work out.
Now, let's find out the story of Tanya here. Apparently, they met when they were 12, and he said, quote, "We had a brief date when we were 16. Then she went her way, and I went my way. And then in 2000, and then he said when he ended up back on Leeds, he said when I was away in Leeds. Then I came back and signed with Chelsea in 1991. He said, I had 2 of the football lads living with me, and one of them looked out the window and said, hey, look at this. And it was a woman out there. Yeah. And he said, quote, Tanya was roller skating outside. And I went, oh my God, I can't believe it. Yeah. And I guess he talked to her. He said, quote, she was just getting divorced. It was all meant to be.
She's
perfect.
Almost single.
She's almost single. He said, do I believe in fate? It's all very spooky. I was living in Leeds, then Sheffield, then moved back into my house after 4 or 5 years, and she was living next door but one. So like one house over, basically. That's got to be something. Yeah. It kind of is, actually. I mean, it's weird that they would get together, like, when they're 12 and date a little at 16 and then live over there. I mean, it's not... It happens. It's
fascinating.
Whatever. But they end up. It works out beautifully. Apparently,
Jenny.
Yeah. He's all about her though, and they have a great relationship. Now before they end up getting married in 1994. Okay. But when she has a daughter that was born in 1987 named Kaylee from her previous marriage. After Kaylee was born, Tanya had to have an emergency heart transplant.
What?
Yeah, hardcore shit.
She has a new heart?
She's a new heart. Like her, her medically...
An 80s heart.
An 80s heart. Yeah, it's who knows what it's from, what animal it's from.
That could be a goat.
I'm sure it wasn't like it is now. It's all mechanical or something. It was probably...
It was a pig.
Yeah, or, they make it in a petri. Then it was like a pig or a baboon or some shit. Whatever was big
wild
enough.
Shit that they just stitched in there and like... Throw some electricity in and see if it works.
There's an empty cage at the zoo now.
Mom, what happened to the African, whatever the fuck?
The Madagascar exhibit's empty. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, but Vinnie's girl is ticking.
Jesus Christ, that's terrible.
Vinnie's girl's drawing wind.
Oh, God.
Unbelievable.
Which is good. We want her to survive. That's good stuff.
That's not a great heart, though. That's nuts.
No, it's going to be some sort of weird 80s heart. I don't know what's happening there. But apparently here, an emergency transplant. And he said, quote, they'd been together 2 years. And he went to her. He said, I went to her dad and I said, I wanted to marry her. And he said, you know what you're taking on? And I said,
it's a baboon heart.
Yeah, she's got, we don't know what the hell's in there. He said, yeah, I do know. And I'm going to take care of her and look after her.
Yeah.
I feel she was saved to save me, and I was meant to look after her, is what they said. So, he's in a little...
she got that heart because something needs her to be around to keep me in line.
That's some fucking...
Wow.
Narcissistic sounds. I mean, not to sound nothing, but
where the fuck
what about her? I don't know. That's a little, it's all for me.
Who got the heart here, her or him? How did he get soft, sweet words coming out of his mouth?
So weird. He said that they tried to live a normal life over here all the time, and sometimes they would overdo it. And he said, quote, we would think, we got to steady up. But we don't wrap her in cotton wool. We haven't got time to think about what if and what about. We just make the most of life.
Yeah.
So they're trying to have fun here. Quote, we've been through a lot, so I just want her to enjoy life and for us to grow old together. Very nice. Yeah. They're going to get married a little later in 1994. Okay. They have a son here earlier than that. So 1992, he sets a record in 92 for the quickest ever card getting. Quickest ever
ejection
in a match. I don't know if it was an ejection. I think it was just a yellow
card.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the quickest ever. It was held for years. It's pretty interesting. It's in 1992. I guess he had been. This is fucking amazing. He said he didn't like Dane Whitehouse is his name. So apparently he goes into a full sprint at him before the whistle blew. So as the whistle blows, he's just running at this guy at full speed. So 3 seconds after the match officially starts, he comes over and fucking nails the guy. And he gets a yellow card immediately. It's blow the whistle, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. You're an asshole. That's amazing. It was a record. Yeah. It just started. People they're not even near each other, for Christ's sake. It's insane. He said, quote, I must have been too high, too wild, too strong, or too early. He said, because after 3 seconds, I could hardly have been too bloody late. I get all of those things. Yeah, you got that. He said a few minutes later, he went ahead and tackled the same guy and got a red card. Okay. He just wanted to fuck him up.
Yeah.
I got you, pal. I don't know. So finally somebody broke his record here, a guy named Lee Todd, who got a red card after 2 seconds because he was near the referee and the referee blew the whistle and it was near his ear and he said, quote, fuck me, that was loud. And they gave him a fucking card right there. That's awesome. Fuck me, that was loud. How do you
get in trouble for that? That's just a natural response.
You're not allowed to curse at the referees.
Really?
Period. Yeah.
Really?
Not allowed to curse at the
refs. As an American, I could be sitting in the stands and probably say something like that. Oh, fuck me, that's loud.
Well, how many football players will go up and be like, what the fuck? And Jesus Christ, I mean, fuck me, that's loud. It wasn't even like, fuck you, that's loud. He said, fuck me, that's loud. Like, Jesus, right in my ear. So, yeah, you like that? Well, you're done now. Wow. Goddamn crazy.
That's pretty impressive.
I would say. Jones, this was written by a guy named Jasper Reese of The Independent in October 1992. He said, quote, the image people have of him, meaning Vinnie, is of a player who regards it as a matter of personal honor to intimidate the nation's finest, to castrate them with a shattering late tackle early in the game, to rip their ears off and spit in the hole. Jesus Christ.
That's a disgusting sentence.
Anytime you're spitting in a hole.
Right.
That sounds a little gross.
Sounds disgusting.
It's a little disgusting.
And if it's the hole where your ear once was, it's worse.
It's into your brain. He said, quote, this is what Jones said about himself a little later in 97 when he's hanging on at the end in his early 30s, but he's still, he was never the most skilled guy anyway. Mm-hmm. He's decent, but he's not like, whatever. He says, quote, I can't run, can't pass, can't tackle, can't shoot, but I'm still here. Uh-huh. So in other words, it's all will, basically, is what he's doing. And 1992, he gets in trouble here. Okay. He does a video, okay? There's a video, it's fucking funny. It's called Soccer's Hard Men is this video, which sounds like a porn.
It does.
Let's be honest here.
Or a calendar.
Right. Soccer's Hard Men.
Right.
Yeah. Or both. It could be a
porn calendar.
It could be a porn calendar. It could be like a PG-13 calendar that they also do a porn shoot on.
Right.
On the side, like let's get a calendar we could sell in the stores
we
before
you
sell
some merch.
Keep your jockeys on for a minute. Let's get that. There we go. Tasteful. Like, all right, good.
12 quick shots of this,
and then
get them off.
And then let's go start fucking each other's in the asses. All right, let's go. Break out the lube once you're done with these pictures. No
faces
lube
and assholes. Let's fuck them all.
Let's go. Nuts and butts, everybody. So, they do. It's a VHS video called Soccer's Hard Men. And he is like one of the presenters of the video. Yeah, they pay him for it. It's a gig on the side. Yeah. And in this video, it says, quote, Vinnie Jones is just a product of the evolution of the game of football in Britain in the late 80s and early 90s. This was later on. This was the narration. As the emphasis switches firmly towards strong, athletic, and above all, physical players. And they talk about, there's like images of him, knocking people over and shit like that.
Grabbing dicks.
I was going to say that they definitely put the dick grab up there, and they would show they'd show him. They'd have like a thing with, the Paul got his dick grabbed, and he'd talk about how, he was very intimidating and shit like that. And he would be like, I guess, in the video talking about squeezing his balls, talking about taking people out and how to do it. And it's basically it's almost like an instructional video for kids how to be a dirty, how to be that kind of player, basically. How to be an enforcer.
Oh my God, I know who he is right now. It just dawned on me.
Yeah, you know exactly who he is.
I know exactly who he is, and I love him.
He's fucking great.
Oh
That's the
God,
thing. It's hard. It's hard not to like him.
In my head, I'm like, why does that guy look familiar? And I was like, oh my God, he looks like, and I'm like, oh my God, it's him.
You've seen him in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
So for this production, apparently, he's fined £20,000 and handed a 6-month ban from football.
Wow.
Here. Apparently, ultimately, he ends up being suspended for 3 years out of this, but I think he ends up playing. I think that was the initial, and then he ends up probably appealing and getting it lower or something like that. It was for his role in, quote, bringing the game into disrepute. Jesus Christ, man. Disrepute. But basically, it didn't change shit for him at all. I mean, good Lord. He said, quote, he's taken violence off of the terracing and onto the pitch. Yeah. Basically, off the street and onto the field is the way he put it.
Let's put it in here.
Yeah. So September 10th, 1992, he ends up back with Wimbledon. He gets sold back there, and he's going to be there for a while, for a few years. And he loves it. Let's let Vinny sum up his own style here. He says, quote, I had a great time when I was playing football, and I think my tough reputation did go before me, but that's no bad thing, as a lot of the game is down to a state of mind. Half the job of winning is down to making an opponent think he's already lost before he even steps onto the pitch. Yeah. It's not for me to comment on my footballing talent, but I can't complain about my achievements. He's right. That's the thing. I mean, obviously there's cheap things, but they used to tell Tyson to show his power. Yeah. That's, my stepmother's father was a trainer there, and I remember the one guy that my dad, a guy came over for dinner, and he was this big white guy who was a boxer, and he was like friends with my dad or friends with my stepmom or something. Him and his wife came over one time, I don't know, but he had been around Tyson sparring at that time. And just when Tyson was a kid up in the Catskills, he was 15 years old, and he said he's just he was a beast then. He was just, he was, nobody wanted to touch him, but he was killing sparring partners. They were going through him like crazy, so they were just trying to find him. And they would always tell him, he said, to show his power. That was the thing. Show his power. And that was, so you'd in the arm or whatever, just so you'd go, holy shit, that's scary. Yeah. And that's what Vinnie Jones was trying to do, was scare you.
Just to remind you that I'm pretty bad too.
I'm a bad motherfucker. Yeah. So, somebody said to him, a question to him, have you ever committed a foul and thought, shit, I've gone too far here? If so, when and where? He said, not really.
Not even the dick grab.
Not the dick grab, not the kick in the face, not the 3-second tackle, none of that shit. He said,
I think going offhand.
No. I'm doing pretty good, actually. I think I like what I'm doing. He said, every player knew what they were going up against when they stepped onto the pitch with me. It wasn't only the bad boy out there. I wasn't the only bad boy out there anyway. There were tons of other players doing what I did, and it still goes on now. The referees just kept watching me more than other players because they knew he was doing what he was doing. So 1994 here, he marries Tanya, like we said. He also starts international play a little bit, where he ends up being on the Welsh team, the team for Wales. I guess they didn't pick him for the English team, and his grandfather was born in Wales. His grandmother was born in Wales. Maternal grandfather, born in Wales. So technically he can play on the Welsh team. And so they take him in there, and he ends up being on the Welsh team, which apparently isn't very good. It's not very good. They tend to lose a lot from what I've seen. Somebody said here, let's see, Jimmie Greaves. I don't know who the fuck that is. A soccer player, I assume, or a soccer official.
Sounds like a
writer.
Chauffeur.
He does. Jimmie Greaves.
Greaves, where is it? Greaves?
Jimmie Greaves.
Greaves. It's very sad.
He's very Jimmie Greaves. Yes, he does. He's had a tough life. He said, quote, well, stone me. We've had cocaine, bribery, and Arsenal scoring 2 goals at home. But just when you thought there were truly no surprises left in football, Vinnie Jones turns out to be an international player. So apparently this is not, normally you wouldn't pick a guy like this for your international team, but he didn't give a shit. They did. He made his debut in December 94 against Bulgaria there. So I think they lost against Bulgaria too, by the way. Then he was made captain of the team in 96. Actually, they said the Wales manager, Bobby Gould, who's his old coach from Wimbledon back in the day, as we talked about, who gave everybody £100.
Right.
He said, quote, we had a democratic vote and the players chose Vinnie. They knew who they wanted to lead the team. They were scared shitless of him. Everybody had their hands over their balls, like in Spaceballs. Right. Shot the ring. He's like, yes, sir, that's what they did.
And he had the shorts around.
Yeah, he's the captain. Right. Yes, sir. That's right. So he said, quote, that this was a big deal for him. He said, quote, I have not been so emotional for a long time about the appointment to captain. They ended up losing their game 7-1 against Holland, but people loved him, and the Welsh team loved him because he's a crazy son of a bitch. And the Welsh are kind of crazy. They're a crazy lot. They seem fun. I got to be honest with you. They're nuts.
Are they playing second fiddle to London?
Wales is like the Kentucky of England. I feel like it's there's some crazy shit going on there. I saw this Kitchen Nightmares once where they were both with Gordon Ramsay. There were this Welsh couple, and they speak a different fucking language.
Really?
Literally, they speak. It's a whole different language. It's like he was listening to in the car, listening to an audio thing of how to speak Welsh.
Really?
Yeah. It's
on
like,
the way to go talk to him.
Yeah, it's sort of English, but not really. Kind of like Southern American.
It's kind of English. It's kind of American.
It's kind of like Cajun, actually, because that's like, what the fuck are you saying?
What is that shit?
Yeah, that Bayou shit is a weird accent. But he was really into it. Vinny was taking pride in it. He even tried to learn the Welsh national anthem, which apparently is really hard if you don't speak Welsh. Very difficult.
Very much like France.
Probably, yeah. So, he's playing all these international things. He tells people, I don't know if this is true, but he tells people that he has a tattoo of a Welsh dragon on his chest as well. From this whole, probably makes sense. I would think so here. But they lose a lot. He is sent off in a game, in his 4th game for Wales. He's kicked out after 27 minutes for stomping on another player's groin.
God damn it.
He's really after your dick. He's coming for your dick. They lost 1-0 to Georgia, the country, not the state.
Right.
And he stomped on a guy's dick in the mismatch and got kicked out.
Unreal.
So what the hell? Now, November 11th, 1997. It's around midnight.
Yeah.
Just never, for him, we're talking
bad stuff.
Liquored up.
Yeah.
Probably angry at this point. He has a little problem with a neighbor of his. It's a guy named Timothy Gear, who owns a riding school in Hertfordshire.
Riding?
Riding, like horses, I believe. It's a riding school. So I assume it's, blue blood fuckwad, horse riding.
It's gotta be
royalty dickheads or something.
School.
Yeah, some shit like that. So this guy here, he's fucking awesome. All right. They end up basically getting in a little fight over this. Jones, Vinnie here, built a gate on the edge of his land to keep out motorcyclists, but he heard that his neighbor here had taken part of it down so he could take some horses through the fence.
Don't you dare.
Okay, now, this guy, the Gear guy, Timothy Gear, said that he was asleep at about 11 o'clock at night when he was awoken by a banging on the door.
Yep.
Imagine this guy at your door banging at 11 o'clock at night.
My fence is down. Who did it?
I'm closing the blinds.
It's 11.
I'm hiding.
Right.
Then he says, quote, he had got up when the window of the caravan was smashed in. I opened the door. Vincent Jones grabbed me by my shoulders and put his teeth into the top of my scalp.
He bit him in the fucking head?
He just grabbed him and bit his head.
Wow.
What the fuck kind of an offense is that?
He broke the windows of his fucking motorhome?
Broke the windows of his motorhome. Then when the guy came out, he grabbed him by the shoulders and allegedly bit the top of his head.
Wow.
Which is fucking nuts. He said he managed to push himself away from Vinnie and then was attacked again.
Are you trying to eat me, sir?
I think you're trying to eat me here. So he said that he called his assault a volley of abuse that came with it as well. He said the attack finally ended after a neighbor intervened. He had to go to the hospital for a cut lip, a cut nose, bruising, facial swelling, all sorts of shit like that.
And a bit head.
He says that he said he's fine. Vinnie said he wasn't drunk. He said that he only had one glass of wine and part of a half pint of Guinness. So
that's even more horrifying.
You did
this shit sober.
Yeah, I could see if he was fucking, whatever. He said it wasn't a fight. It's bullshit. He said, quote, it was not a fight. It was more like a trial of strength that I won with my teeth.
That's the definition of a fight.
He said that he said, I didn't punch him or kick him or bite him like he says. He said, we just thrashed around a bit. Which this guy's not a big thrasher arounder. He's more of a beater and a winner and a crotch stomper.
Grabber, a stomper, a stabber.
Yeah, whatever he's got here. So he pleads not guilty to assault occasioning actual bodily harm and causing criminal damage. He said he threw no punches and didn't kick or stomp or bite him. Nothing, just a tussle. It was an innocent tussle. That's all it was. He he had a doctor come in to say that there was no evidence of biting on his head. And shit like that. His defense attorney said, quote, the concept of a 32-year-old fit, strong professional football player in the Premier League, as he was then, putting the boot in, stomping and using the tools of his trade, his feet, and creating just few signs of a scuffle. In our submission, it simply does not add up. He'd be way more fucked up, is what he said here. He added that he said Vinnie's of good character and has no previous convictions. He said, quote, he's a family man who devotes an enormous amount of his time to charity. He said, this is a side of Vinnie perhaps not known to the world. That is the man, unlike the reputation of the hard man on the football field. And, he had his wife there with him the whole time, and he's found guilty anyway. So, a guy had to pull him off of him while he was beat. There's somebody else going, oh, no, he was kicking his fucking ass over there.
Certainly did it.
Yeah, so he's found guilty of assault assault causing actual bodily harm and criminal damage. And the guy's his father, Gear's father, who's 53 years old here, he said, quote, I'm very pleased, especially for my son and the police. My son is very relieved. He just wants to get on with his life. This is and a reporter said, quote, I'm only surprised that it has taken until now for Vinnie to get himself into serious trouble. His attack on me was completely unprovoked. I cannot feel sorry for anyone who could attack a neighbor in over such a paltry dispute.
I don't know. You tore down my fence, fucker.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a dick move.
Yeah.
I don't know. Another neighbor said, quote, Vinnie has been nothing but a perfect neighbor. Even when he first moved in here, he asked us if we minded. The guy had been nothing but a perfect gent, I guess. I don't know. Well, he beat the shit out of this guy. March 26, 98, he goes to the Queens Park Rangers, and he's a player coach at this point.
It's already over?
It's kind of over. He's like 33, going on 34. He writes an autobiography.
What?
Called Vinnie, the autobiography.
Was he that big of a deal?
Oh, he's very famous. Yeah, he's hugely famous.
The dick grab
a lot of people, the dick grab's very big. And it's at this point that where he puts his book out, and he is cast in a movie. Guy Ritchie gets a hold of him, and he's
called
cast.
Snatch.
No, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh, he's in that too.
That's first. Yeah, that's his
Holy
first movie
shit.
role. He's a guy. Big Chris is his character.
Yes.
There. He's in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which is a big fucking movie.
Huge movie.
It's a huge movie. And
Guy Ritchie's married to Madonna at this
That's
time.
what I mean. This is a huge deal. And especially in England, this is a fucking huge deal because he's a huge British director.
Right.
Guy Ritchie is. So that's he's not coming over here in some American movie.
Right.
He says, quote, hopefully this film goes well and I will go for it, although it would be hard to do all over again because it's hard work. There was a time I would have been on set at 4 a.m. and getting home at 5 p.m. I was training, going to the shoot, training, going to the shoot. But if I come to the fork where it is football or acting, you have to see which has the most knots after it.
Which one is costing me money or which one's making me money?
Exactly.
That's what it is.
He said that he donated the money he made from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels to charity. Okay. He was still playing football.
Which one has more zeros after it?
That's what it is. Yeah, and knots after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is that makes more sense here. So he says that, he's kind of interested in getting into acting. Mm-hmm. His first day on the set, he said, quote, it was quite frightening at the beginning. I turned up on my first acting day and went straight into it. I was a little bit apprehensive. That's it. He said, it would have been easier to come in before because I would have known what it was all about and I would probably have made my own sandwiches because they were awful. He was complaining about craft services. That's what he's concerned about.
Christ.
So I had to stomp on the craft services guy's testicles.
You have SAG insurance now and you're bitching about the...
I destroyed his ball sack. I couldn't take it. I said, fuck you, man. I don't care if you're union. I'm roughing up your ball bag, sir. Get over here. So
what is this, Turkey and Swiss?
No. He said, I had a lot of help and a lot of people saying how well I was doing, so I just carried on. The only times I slipped up was when I overacted. I just tried to play it as I saw it and get the words right. My goals will be people saying how well I done. Them goals are a lot more profitable than scoring with a team, he said. He said, quote, they laughed a little bit because a lot of people thought it was a walk on, but then some of the club have seen scenes because I have done a couple of TV shows. Now the sniggering and joking has stopped and they're asking for tickets to the film.
Yeah, because he's a great actor.
Yeah, they thought he was just an extra.
He's so good.
They thought he was just an extra.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm in this movie. They're like, yeah, right, asshole.
Sure you are.
You're sure in the background somewhere. But no,
he's the phone.
He's a real character.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he says, quote, romantic leads I will leave at home for the wife. Action films, if it evolves, that's what I want. I don't think Bruce Willis and them guys are getting any younger. Yeah. That would be my goal. He said,
he wants to be in Die Hard.
He wants to be an action star. Yeah, that's how you make the big money. He said, I said I wanted to be a footballer when I was a hod carrier, and they laughed me off the ladder.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Knowing who he is in my head, I can see him toting bricks and being amazing at it.
And he's fucking real. That's the thing.
Huge.
1998, he is named GQ Magazine Man of the Year.
What?
Yeah, that's crazy. I think in UK, but still, he's fucking man. He's huge. I mean, he's a giant star. He's a big deal. December 1998, he is in the WWF pay-per-view Capital Carnage.
Yeah,
he's doing wrestling here.
Ridiculous.
He's not wrestling so much, but he's kind of doing a little thing on the outside. It's a UK only pay-per-view.
This is still the 90s.
This is it's WWF still, 1998. He, I guess the main event, Shane McMahon was the ring announcer and made some changes like, we're going to change this and that before the match, and made Pat Patterson the guest timekeeper and all sorts of people, and also made another guy a special guest referee. And I guess Big Boss Man was changed to an enforcer alongside Vinnie. Vinnie was like an outside the ring enforcer. The role they have Mike Tyson will do, or he was a ref when they had brought him in, but kind of shit they do with
you could see him doing that.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Apparently they had a brawl between Vinnie Jones and the Big Boss Man, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's not many of our guys have fought the Big Boss Man who aren't wrestlers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then the referee gave Jones a red card and he had to leave. That was the joke. So he got ejected.
He's been ejected that many times.
He's known for it.
9th overall.
Yeah, 9th overall.
In history.
He's known for it.
Wow.
March 10th, 99, he retires from football.
It's done.
He's done with football because 2000, he's got a lot of shit going on. Yeah. He's in Gone in 60 Seconds.
He's in that movie?
Fuck yeah, he's a lot, too. The funny thing is, last night when I'm in Louisville and I'm finishing this episode and the TV is on and I'm trying to find something to put on in the background, Gone in 60 Seconds is on, which I've never seen because it looks like a piece of shit.
It is.
And so but I stopped on it and he's in the scene right there. And right away, Nicolas Cage, him in the background. I'm like, look at this shit.
Is he on Nicolas Cage's team?
I think so,
one of the guys
he's
stealing cars?
The Sphinx is his character. Okay. Yeah, I think he was next to Nicolas Cage, so I assume he's his buddy in the movie.
I wonder if he's like the guy that hires them to steal all the cars. There's a reason that they're stealing the cars, and he's after one specific, that GT550 or GT500. What is that car? Fuck, I don't know. It's a GT. It's a dumb fucking Mustang.
Nicolas Cage pretending he has hair. Get the fuck out of here. So, come on.
Pretending he has great hair.
Yeah, give
Not
me a
just
break,
hair.
dude.
It looks great.
You had terrible hair in 1988.
Right.
You could in 1990 go see Honeymoon in Vegas.
Right.
Awful hair.
Yeah.
And Honeymoon, it's done. It's done. It's 91. It's over for him hair wise.
Raising Arizona, it's bad.
That's 87.
Yeah.
Terrible
it's
hair.
Bad.
Terrible hair. I mean,
you know it's going to go bad.
By 2000,
right.
Fucking gone. He's Tambor. Give me a break.
The Rock. Holy shit, an awful set of hair in that movie.
Yeah, bad guy. Yeah. That
with
bad hair.
Yeah,
Sean Connery.
Bad.
Bad hair.
So bad.
Bad hair. He also in 2000 he's in Snatch as well.
That's he's so good in that movie.
Breakout role. Bullet-Tooth Tony. Exactly. There you go.
He's so good.
2001 he's in Swordfish. You remember Swordfish?
With fucking Travolta?
Terrible movie. John Travolta, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Don Cheadle, Sam Shepard, and Vinnie Jones. That's how it's listed on IMDb. After Vinnie Jones, Drea Di Matteo, who is on The Sopranos.
Unbelievable.
That's Christopher's girlfriend on The Sopranos for years.
Wow.
That's how it's listed. He's above her on the IMDb top cast.
That's a bad movie.
It's a fucking terrible movie, I'm sure. But if I remember correctly, there are Halle Berry boobs in that movie.
I think that's true.
I believe that's why I saw it. And I believe that's why everybody saw it in 2000. They're like, Halle Berry takes her top off? For real? Is that for real?
Is that or Monsters Ball?
I think it was this.
It might be.
Might have been this. I don't remember. I don't think I saw the movie, but I remember seeing Halle Berry's boobs at some point.
It's a heist movie, right? There's a theft. Something they've got to steal something.
No, it's something to do with bullshit. Who knows?
It has nothing to do with Swordfish. I'll tell you that.
No, it's John Travolta's the goddamn.
Right.
Give me a break.
I know another movie he's in. What's it?
There's a bunch. I'm going to give you a list.
I'll give you one that I remember. Is it Eurotrip?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
He's in Eurotrip as well.
He's the soccer hooligan.
There you go. Yes. Which he says he was mad about that because he had to be an Arsenal fan, and it pissed him off because he fucking hates Arsenal, he said.
Hilarious,
so because
I remember that.
He fucking hated it.
They're all wearing that fucking maroon on the bus.
He said it was just...
He was furious.
Furious about it. Hates them. Hates
showed.
Arsenal.
He did great.
Hates them. He's in Night at the Golden Eagle. That's a Natasha Lyonne movie. Remember her? She's like Slums of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I remember
her. She's funny as shit.
I see the movie.
He's in Mean Machine, which is basically a British Longest Yard.
Okay.
He plays a convicted football player.
I was just going to ask, isn't that the name of the team in The Longest Yard?
That's exactly what it is. Okay. 2002, he releases an album.
Get the fuck out of my life.
He releases a fucking album,
What?
Jimmy. Jimmy, this guy is it's everything that Crime and Sports needs here. He's fighting, he's crazy, he's making albums, he's in movies, he's nuts.
I'm actually sad for him now.
It's bad. Yeah. He releases an album called Respect.
You dummy.
On the cover, it's him like holding an old-timey microphone like from the 40s next to his face, like he's Frank Sinatra.
He's crooning?
Oh, yeah, he's crooning.
Oh, my God.
No, he's not rapping. He's crooning. These are covers.
Bullet-Tooth Tony is going to sing.
Covers. Want to hear the covers he does? Because there's 14 of them.
Oh, my God.
This is gold. By the way, these are on Amazon. You can get them. Each track is like 99 cents. You can get it's okay.
I'm going to buy them.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
Quote number one, everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs. He's singing that. Yes. He's fucking crooning.
Wow.
Sometime.
He thinks he's Harry Connick Jr.
Oh, Dance to the Music, which is that.
What? The fucking Gloria Estefan song?
No, I don't think it's. No. I think it's the 70s one.
Like disco style song.
Kind of, yeah. That's kind of funk.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funk song. Okay.
No, not a British guy.
Bad Leroy Brown.
Get the fuck
Baddest
out.
man in the whole damn town.
Really?
He's singing that, which is a very American song. That dude's got bad
right.
Leroy Brown. He's a Southern guy.
And he's going to sing that.
He's sing it. Land of 1,000 Dances.
Wait, what is that song?
That's the fucking. It's from the 50s. It's that
I don't
stupid,
even know it.
Where they name off all the goddamn dances.
I don't know it. That's awful. That sounds terrible. Why would you even want it? What are you going to name like the Macarena and shit like that? But obviously from the 50s?
It's a song that I can't pop in my head. Do You Love Me? Speaking of that, do you love me?
What?
Do you love me?
What is he doing?
Now that I can dance, Jimmy.
It's just like he went to a karaoke night and somebody was like, we should record this.
He's like, you know what? This is my top go-tos, all 14 of them.
But I can make some money.
Dock of the Bay.
What?
I don't even like Otis Redding's version of that. I think it sucks. That's a shit song, no matter who sings it. And Otis Redding's a good singer.
It's very repetitive and
it's
fucking
just a
boring.
Shit song.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's very boring.
And then it's Michael Bolton's even worse. It's just terrible. Hi Ho Silver Lining. I don't know what that is. It sounds like it's from like a Broadway show or something. Shake Your Tail Feather.
What? The goddamn ludicrous song?
This is 2002. So
maybe.
I don't know.
Could have been.
Number 9, Mustang Sally.
Oh, boy. Or was that Nelly that sang that? I don't even know.
It's so long ago.
Doesn't matter.
It's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
10, Gimme Some Lovin'. Oh. Gimme some lovin'. That's what he's singing.
What the fuck is happening?
13, Boom Boom. I don't know what that is.
That's probably British.
11 is I Feel Good. He's singing fucking James Brown. What? All these songs are like, a lot of them are dancing. So is he dance? Is he a good dancer? 12 is Minnie the Moocher.
Okay.
I don't know that. And 14 is In the Midnight Hour.
He loves some funk, man.
The Midnight Hour, you know that one.
That's a great song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
But he's singing it?
He's singing it. That's his album. That's available for you people to get.
The guy that squeezed a dick, the guy was in Snatch.
I'm gonna squeeze on a player's cock.
He's
gonna pop his balls right off.
He just sings like he listened to the radio and was like, I'm going to write down the songs I like.
The songs I like, yeah.
And I'm going to sing them.
Mm-hmm. I think those were his go-to karaoke.
Unbelievable.
I'm being honest here. So,
he didn't even write a song.
No.
He didn't even do an original one at all.
Fuck no. Or maybe, I don't know if Boom Boom is original.
That might be yours or his.
Not mine, I'll tell you that much. January 2003, he's denying charges laid against him by 3 Cape Town women.
Oh, boy.
Yes. He says they made a statement. He said where women said that he groped them in a jacuzzi, apparently. It's a woman alleges her sister, and a girlfriend attended a party in Cape Town where this happened, and her sister alleges that Vinnie pushed her head underwater, while a third woman alleges that he swore at her. Like they say he like grabbed one, put her head underwater, and then told the other one to fuck off. Basically, that's what happened here. They said that they were thinking of charging him with indecent assault, and other things. Charges have been filed. Police took 7 statements from eyewitnesses, and he submitted a statement, and his lawyer said that he denies all charges against him, and she is he
like trying to get an underwater blowy and telling a woman to leave?
I don't know what's going on here. It's very strange, but it's not. It's far away, so it's one of those things here. So apparently there was an incident as well where there were similar allegations against a Manchester United official at one point by a woman, and it's one of those things. Somebody said, quote, before coming to any conclusion, it's important to remember that another high-profile British visitor is faced with a similar charge. Yeah. Well, that just means that 2 dudes could have been groping people, too. I mean, that's not out of question that 2 dudes are assholes and they're groping people. I mean, that's...
You arrest highfalutin doctors in Thailand for fucking boys just because you get 2 of them doesn't mean that they didn't tell each other, I go to Thailand to fuck boys.
There you go. You know exactly.
I mean? A soccer official could have told Bullet Tony, I go down to South Africa and finger chicks.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You should go down there and get 3 of them at a time.
3 sometimes.
Well, you can take 2 and then you yell at the third one. That's what I like to do personally.
They give underwater blowies.
Pretty cool.
They can hold their breath a long time.
It's amazing down there. I think it's because they're south of the equator.
Right.
Something to do with the air and the flow. It's just different down there. I don't know. So they said that they were deciding whether to prosecute him or not. Nothing ever came of it, so apparently they didn't, but that's what he's accused of. He was filming the movie Blast at the time, but he's kind of getting a little out of control here. May 2003, he is on a Virgin Atlantic flight from Tokyo to London.
Oh, boy.
Which is is never a good way to start a thing here. He ends up later on at Heathrow having the problem. Basically, he ends up being charged with being drunk on an aircraft, using threatening, abusive, or insulting words, and common assault on a passenger. Okay.
He basically acted out everything that goes on in my head on these planes.
Pretty much. My fantasies.
He was
somebody
drunk
reclines.
on the plane. Been there.
Yeah.
I know the feeling, sir.
Somebody reclines. You want to take your blanket and sling it over their throat and strangle them from the fucking back with it. Like total piano wire. I don't have a piano wire. I'll use this shitty blue blanket they fucking laid on the seat. It's got bugs on it, probably. Take that. This is what I could get from you. Thanks.
This is all I've got.
Great. This is all I have to deal with. That or the strap of my backpack. One of the two. I've thought about it. I could just put my backpack strap right over and fucking strangle my back.
I'll go up to first class and
then
grab
press that little button.
And then take that pillowcase and slide that over your fucking head. I'll bet that'll fit tight.
Oh, yeah.
That'll fit real tight.
Yeah, like we're kidnapping them.
Yeah.
And then put the strap of the backpack around, strangle them, and then press the recline button so they pop back up again. And you go, that's my fantasy. That's my fantasy on a plane half the time. So this is what I mean. We have to, you got to relax is what I'm getting at. And he didn't relax because I'm not actually going to do that, obviously, but he had a problem.
So he snapped.
He apparently was getting drunk, and he's in the first class of this long flight from Tokyo to London, so it's a long flight. And apparently he's being drunk, and he starts being kind of a dick, and somebody told him, why don't you fuck off, basically. And so he said to saying everybody, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? And then he grabbed the male passenger and slapped him 10 times with an open hand.
10?
Just paintbrushed him. Fucking paintbrushed him.
Do you think he did it? Do you think he did it a lot, like real fast in a row, or did he like stop and go, "Who am I?" and then hit him again?
I think he paintbrushed. Do
you know who I am?
Yeah, I think he counted out loud like he was banging his head into the turnbuckle. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's like, "Come on, everybody!" And everyone's like horrified. Huh? No.
Oh, I've lost count.
Then he told the crew, quote, I can get you murdered. I can get the whole crew murdered for 3,000 pounds. Go and do what you're paid to do and make some fucking coffee.
Oh, my God.
Threaten their lives.
You can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
You can't say, like, a value.
No.
I mean, you can say some...
This is how much your life is. Right. All of you.
All of you together.
Like $500 a pop, basically. I'll fucking take you all out.
I'll get a bulk discount.
That is crazy. Yeah, they're going to discount. If I do 6 at a time, it's a discount.
Punch card. You know, if there's a 7th of you, it's
Hold
free.
On. You're the free one. Yeah, you. I'm looking at you, asshole. That's right. You're the free one. I'm going to make sure that you're the free one. A witness said, quote, Vinnie Jones was screaming at him, meaning the male passenger, swearing and abusive. He said, Jones said, who the fuck do you think you are? You are fucking nothing. And then he would slap him about the head. That's what he said. He hit him across his left cheek on 10 occasions. So he wasn't even paintbrushing him.
No.
He was hitting him with one hand.
2,
just 3. Over and over again.
You're nothing. He
said that Jones also grabbed another guy by the scruff of his neck. Passengers and crew tried to restrain him, and that's when he, again, screamed out that he could get the whole crew murdered for $3,000 and then threatened to, quote, eat the face of another passenger.
He grabbed somebody like a puppy.
And then threatened to eat his face.
On the back.
Yeah. He grabbed him by the scruff and then threatened to eat his face. Well, people tried to, 10 people tried to hold him.
I'll eat your face and I'll hire somebody to murder everybody else for $3,000.
Yeah, but you don't need to be, I don't need to pay for you because you'll have no face as it is, so that's fine. So, apparently it was a passenger, Stephen Driscoll. He told Vinnie that he was, quote, being annoying.
That's it.
That was it. Set him off, and that sparked what was called in court as a frightening tirade of threats.
I feel like annoying in England is a much more insulting thing.
It might be. Or Vinny's got a short fuse. Yeah. One of the two. I don't feel like he's one to be punked in public and told he's annoying. Because he's like, you know who I am?
Annoying. You should be
to be around
thrilled.
Me. Yeah, you want to hear me sing Only You? Because I'll bust it out. I'll sing it to you. I croon it like a bastard right here in first class.
Been working on another album.
I'm working
you heard
on
Mustang
part 2.
Sally?
I'm working on part 2. You've never seen anything like it before. So, yeah, they said the prosecutor said he'd been sitting and drinking and, quote, became boorish, and one woman decided to leave the group. When Jones approached this woman to like, hey, come on back here, sweetheart. That's when the guy said, hey, you're being annoying. Why don't you leave her alone? And he said, oh, I am? Well, is this annoying? How about I slap you 10 times and threaten your life?
On the same side.
So he did. This is amazing. So he's found guilty of all of this shit, basically.
Sky menacing.
Assault and sky menacing, and I don't know.
He's a sky pirate. He's horrifying.
Does that include the pilot? Is he in the $3,000 club? Is it extra for him? What the fuck is happening?
The whole crew.
The whole crew. That? I'll get the whole crew murdered.
Murked.
Not even dead. Murdered.
Right.
Not even an accident or coincidence. I won't pray for your untimely demise. Right. I'll have you murdered. Specifically, your last and the free one. Don't forget that, fat boy. Who's one like pudgy guy.
Your last and you're fat.
And you're fat. And did I mention I'm a gypsy and I make a lot of money?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
I can't believe that guy said that.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
So, knowing who he is, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
now
you might not have known who he was. That's the thing. Don't you know who I am? I guess I don't. That guy's going to eat my face, apparently. So the judge sentences him, and now I get to do a British judge sentencing. This is where it started, because he's very... just upset about the whole thing. He's indignant.
Yeah.
You, sir, may fuck off. 80 hours of community service.
That's pretty solid.
And $500 fine.
What? A sixth of a murder contract?
500-pound fine. And 300 pounds of costs and 300 pounds of compensation to the man he slapped repeatedly. That's
Give 300 pounds for that?
300 pounds. Prosecutors withdrew a charge of being drunk on board an aircraft for some reason. I think he seemed pretty drunk.
Seems pretty obvious.
I hope he's drunk or else he's a real psychopath. Holy shit. So he said afterwards that he, quote, regretted the incident deeply.
Yeah.
And he said that he would carry out his community punishment with grace.
Yeah.
So he's going to...
1,100 pounds
with what, Jimmy?
With grace.
Grace.
1,100 pounds in 80 hours. That's a pretty steep penalty.
So December 20th, 2003, he gets his firearms taken away. The cops come to his house and take his guns because of this. They said, a spokeswoman for the police said his firearms license has been revoked. It was done this week. He cannot legally keep firearms. He's apparently been an enthusiast here because his father's like a gamekeeper. He's super into that. He likes going on weekend pheasant shooting parties with people and shit like that.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah, that's some shit. They took his guns from him, basically. He has 21 days to appeal a decision. He eventually gets him back. 2004, he's in The Big Bounce.
What's in that?
Owen Wilson, Charlie Sheen, and Tony Dorsett for some reason.
What?
And Morgan Freeman and Willie Nelson.
The football player?
Yeah. Tony Dorsett and Mike Renfro, another football player, and Morgan Freeman and Willie Nelson. I don't know what went on in this movie.
The Big Bounce.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan, not him, I think that's Owen Wilson, a charming but mischievous kid with a history of small cons, never nasty, as he always approaches life from the pleasant side, goes to Surfer's Paradise in Hawaii, misspelled, where dodgy district judge Walter Cruz enlists him to get real big criminals. Jesus, this is written by a 4-year-old. Jack finds himself teaming up in bed and thieving business with Nancy Hayes, the greedy mistress of evil motel magnate Ray Ritchie and his dumb lieutenant Bob Rogers Jr.
Who the fuck wrote this?
And a real temptress gold digger, but is about the only one without a hidden agenda.
How did that get made?
Anyone?
How the fuck did that get made?
Owen Wilson was like, I don't know, sure. I mean, that's cool.
Wow, that sounds
fun. I think I'll do it. I mean,
we'll be out of Hawaii and I'll just fuck all the girls.
It's gonna be good. I'm hideous. I know. I know. That's weird. It's 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb. Next, he's in the movie Tooth.
No.
As the Extractor.
Yeah.
It's a story of a young, feisty tooth fairy who lives in a world called Fairytopia and has lost his ability to use magic.
Oh my God, this sounds terrible.
Sounds terrible.
Is it animated?
I don't think so.
What?
As a matter of fact.
Get the fuck out of here.
It might be, but I don't know. It's a 2.9 out of 10 on IMDb. It is not animated, by the way. I just remembered the cover, and it's like a fucking live-action kid on the cover. Not good.
Whoa.
Not good. good. Terrible. Then he's in Eurotrip, like we said. He's in a Japanese movie called Survive Style 5+. It's got 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow.
Might be good. Also, he's in a movie called Blast that he was filming when the alleged diddling happened. Right. This movie stars Eddie Griffin, Shaggy, Tiny Lister.
What?
Zeus, Tiny Lister, Vivica A. Fox, and Breckin Meyer. But I don't know where the fuck they stuck him into the cast there.
You can plug him in anywhere.
He just fits.
Just to say some snarky thing and walk off screen.
And he's fine.
He's great.
He's going to be good at it.
I like that guy.
Good for you, Breckin Meyer.
Where's he been?
I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him since that fucking
90s.
Yeah. Late 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good in the 90s. He's had a good. Bring Breckin Meyer back. Give that fucking guy a job.
Oh God, Jesus, him and the Goots.
In 2004, he was doing this.
Put him and the Goots in a movie together.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
We'll put Rick Moranis in it.
Hell yeah.
We'll get who else is missing? Oh, fucking! I want Ernie Hudson in more movies.
I'd like to see that.
Bring Ernie Hudson in here too. I'd like to see him in more movies.
Let's get those 4 guys as the new Ghostbusters.
Ooh, that's good. Except Ernie Hudson doesn't have to be the black guy this time.
He doesn't.
We'll make Breckin Meyer be the black guy because that's what he always plays. Like that role in Ghostbusters, obviously. He'd be like the tack on.
Right.
They're like, man.
The guy that they just throw.
Like, for real? We're doing this?
Right.
It's crazy, right? Right? What are we doing? Hey, he's like 5'2".
Yeah.
So tiny.
He's so little. What was the movie that he was in with Tom Green where he was going across the country?
Road Trip.
That's it.
Road Trip.
Yeah.
He was in Clueless.
It's a great movie, Road Trip.
A shitload of everything.
He is in Clueless.
Yeah, he's the stoner kid.
He's the dickhead. Yeah.
No, he's a stoner nice kid with a skateboard.
Is he nice?
Yeah, he's trying to hook up with Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
And they're telling him, don't hook up with him. He's a dirtbag. You got to hook up with the popular guys. And he's like, what's up, dude? Let's go hang out.
Being a fucking romantic guy to a girl.
So, this movie's about a terrorist posing as environmentalist hijack. A terrorist posing as an environmentalist hijacks an oil rig off the coast of California. Blah blah blah.
Sounds like Breckin Meyer's
electromagnetic bomb over the U.S. I think Eddie Griffin's the star. Yeah. He's front and center. 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Not good.
Bad.
2005. He's in Slipstream with Sean Astin. So he's in there something with Rudy.
Yeah.
This is Bad Times. Pre Stranger Things Rudy.
Yeah.
But as a post Rudy, pre Stranger Things, a bad time for Sean Astin.
No,
but also
he was,
Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Lord of the Rings. He was big at that point.
Right in the wheelhouse.
You're right. Quote, a scientist goes to the bank to meet a pretty bank teller.
Oh, boy.
His time machine allows him to go back 10 minutes in time and correct his approaches to her.
I've seen that.
Like Groundhog Day, except not fucking funny or good or original with Bill Murray making it funny.
All you can do is go back 10 minutes, though. Yeah. That's it.
He's shadowed by 2 FBI agents and the bank gets robbed. Wow, great. Next, he's in Hollywood Files, which is an Italian movie. Man, hey, you taking your top off, huh? And that's what's going on there. Hey, you taking your top off? It's an extra 100 lira. Taking your top off. 4.5.
You're making a movie better.
Hey, we're making a movie. Taking your top off. Hey, we all taking your top off. Hey. So,
just hair and tits.
He's also on the show. He makes one episode on the show Extras, the Ricky Gervais show, HBO thing. He's in a TV movie called Mysterious Islands, Mysterious Island. To escape the evils of the Civil War, Cyrus removes his small family and random war prisoners by way of hot air balloon. Jesus,
his rescue is. So much for an action hero.
God, Patrick Stewart's in this.
Action movie, substitute helicopter for hot air balloon.
I feel like this is like a steampunk theme. It feels like something.
Stupid.
2006, he's in a movie called Johnny Was. Then he's in She's the Man. You remember that?
I do. With
Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum. He's in that, yeah.
I thought that was. I'm thinking of Joanna Man.
No, yeah, totally, very different. This is the white version, apparently. When her brother decides to ditch for a couple weeks, Viola heads over to his elite boarding school disguised as him and proceeds to fall for the school's star soccer player. It's just one of the guys.
Oh, boy.
Fucking made again.
Yep.
Same movie.
Stop it.
Yeah. 6.3 out of 10 because people like Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum.
And that's another one that needs. What happened to that girl's career?
I don't know. I saw she just got engaged recently.
Did she?
Yeah. I'm sure it's engaged like
not
a tree
Amanda
or
Bynes.
something. Amanda Bynes is nuts.
Not her. I mean, the girl from just one of the guys.
Oh, that was like 1984.
I know, whatever, that poor girl.
I don't know. She's probably got grandchildren now, I assume.
Unbelievable cans.
She's got grandchildren and osteoporosis, I assume, at this point. I don't know what the hell.
Eats a lot of Activia.
Yeah. Get her poop on. So he's also in a movie called The Other Half. He's in a movie called Played with Val Kilmer, Gabriel Byrne, Anthony LaPaglia, and Bruno Kirby.
That's the last movie Val Kilmer's probably ever going to do.
No, he's in another Val Kilmer movie.
Is he
Bruno
really?
Kirby's in he's Don Clemenza from Godfather 2, for Christ's sake. He's been in everything. Then after that, he's in X-Men The Last Stand.
Really?
Which is a big deal. He plays Juggernaut in X-Men The Last Stand. So, yeah, he's
How about that?
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Yeah. It's a big, giant movie. Then he's in, right after that, Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. Following X-Men.
A Tale of Two Kitties.
Two Kitties as Rommel.
Boy.
2007, he's in The Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is a bad sign.
How is he doing this, by the way?
He's crushing it, man. This is then he's in 710 Split, which is a Tara Reid movie.
Oh, no.
In 2007.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. With also, a Big Pussy from The Sopranos is in this as well. An aspiring actor whose career is in the dumps exploits his amazing bowling skills. What was the last thing you expected me to say? An aspiring actor whose career's in the dumps exploits his amazing, not bowling skills, probably.
I'd pick knife throwing before
anything before bowling skills to take the PBA by storm.
What?
And becomes rich and famous only to lose his best girl and his best friend. Okay.
What the shit?
Strength and Honor, a Michael Madsen movie. A single father decides to break his dying wife's last wish to not box again in order to save his young son from certain death. Okay.
Michael Madsen.
Apparently Michael Madsen, if he boxes, his son won't die.
Wow.
I don't know why that is, but if he doesn't box, certain death for his son. But what a predicament, because his wife's dying wish was for him not to box. I bet it was also for his son not to die. So get in there and fight, dipshit. That's not a big decision.
What year was this made?
2008.
A 50-year-old man.
2007. I want to box again. All right? Hey, can you put that song on? I'll dance around with the razor. People like that. They like it when I do that. I did it in the one movie. You know what I'm talking about.
What the fuck?
Line it up there.
Michael Madsen. How about her dying wish was, don't get in the ring in your 60s because you'll fucking die. Yeah. And our kid needs a dad.
Remind me off air to tell you a Michael Madsen story from somebody I know, by the way.
He's a dick, isn't he?
Oh, it's hilarious. Wait till you hear it. It's fucking amazing. So, yeah, he's going to box again, apparently. Next, he's in Tooth and Nail, which is a horror movie. 2008, he narrates the TV show called Vinnie Jones's Toughest Cops. It's apparently on in the UK. Each episode is looking at, it's kind of like Live PD a little bit. Yeah. They examine the work of a different force in the country, concentrating on dangerous shit.
Of course it is.
That. Yeah. Next, he's in a movie called Hell Ride with Dennis Hopper and Michael Madsen.
What?
Dennis Hopper.
He made friends with Michael Madsen.
Think about Dennis Hopper and Michael Madsen. How much crazy is that in one fucking room? That's too much crazy. If you threw, like, Nick Nolte in there, things would go off the rails. Gary Busey. I said Nick Nolte because Gary Busey would be too much. It would explode.
You can't put all that crazy in the same. It's like very much like matter. It can't occupy the same space at the same time.
It's physics. It's just physics, Jimmy. And you know who else? Dean Del Rey's in that movie.
What?
Fucking comic, Dean Del Rey.
Dean Del Rey's
great
in
comic,
movies?
by the way. If you like comedy, he's in that movie. Yeah. He's a great comic. This is about two rival biker gangs refuel their decades-old rivalry. You know, because everyone in it is 65 except for Dean Del Rey.
Right. So he's a big motorcycle guy.
Yeah, and he's got he can ride and he looks like it. Yeah, sure, he's good casting. Next, he's in a movie called Loaded. A young, wealthy club kid's life spirals downward in an out of control world of drugs, sex, and violence. Wow, okay. The Midnight Meat Train.
Oh, boy.
Which stars Bradley Cooper.
That's what?
And Brooke Shields.
What?
It's a real movie.
Sounds like a Brazzers.
Yeah, totally sounds like a section of Pornhub. Yeah. Like the spotlight section of the day, the Midnight Meat Train. Some weird shit like that.
That's not even like a movie. That's just a whole genre.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a whole category that they have. It's a, hey, spotlight of the day, or do they do, I don't know. So it's 6.1 out of 10 on this, though. A photographer's obsessive pursuit of dark subject matter leads him into a path of a serial killer who stalks late-night commuters, ultimately butchering them in the most gruesome way imaginable. Jesus Christ.
Is this post? This is definitely post Wedding Crashers.
Oh, it's 2008.
Bradley Cooper's running this shit?
Did you look at people's IMDb's?
Yeah.
You'll be shocked at how many movies famous people have done that you're like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen that pile of shit.
They must have made a shitload of money.
Or script looked good, and then didn't get executed right. Yeah. Producer didn't hire right people. Director dropped out. Things happen.
Did my part.
Things happen.
Yeah.
December 5th, 2008. He's in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yeah. Oh, he comes to America.
Yeah, no, he's in Hollywood.
Okay.
He moves to California.
Really?
Oh, he's good.
He doesn't fuck England.
That post right up in the Hollywood Hills. He's like, hey, have you been there?
Yeah.
It's sunny here. Yeah. I like beach and sun. So, yeah.
We got beaches, so who the fuck wants to see them?
There's no sun at that
line
beach.
From Snatch.
Yeah. That is a line. You're right.
Who the fuck wants to see them?
Well, he wants to see Californians. Yeah. So Sioux Falls, South Dakota, he gets into a little scuffle. Mm-hmm. He's at a place called Wiley's Tavern in Sioux Falls, South Dakota here. Basically, it's originally thought that he charged at a 24-year-old man and a guy named Jesse Bickett, who then hit Vinnie with a glass. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the original thought here. And Bickett's arrested for aggravated assault. Different stories come out. His roommate, this other guy's roommate, a guy named Juan Barrera, another 24-year-old, he said they were playing pool when Vinnie asked to play. Yeah. He came over and said, hey, mind if I play?
Right.
That's pretty cool.
I'd lose my mind. Are you shitting me?
One of the assholes at the table, and this is, okay, you know what? This is I'm going to give a lesson here, and it's for not a lesson, but fucking, have you seen the video as a basketball player? I can't remember who the fuck it is now, making people say please, because people are like, sign this. He's like, can you say please? Just say please. And they say, can you sign this please? And he goes, absolutely. And he signs it, gives it back. Just don't treat people like pieces of shit just because you've seen them somewhere. Right. That doesn't mean you own them or know them or can fucking... Right. You can't just...
Is it a basketball player that plays today?
Yeah, it's an NBA player.
Really?
He was signing autographs on the side at the All-Star game. Somebody was just being rude, and he said, can you say please? He just got tired of it. Yeah. Fucking, I don't blame him, dude. Be nice to people.
You're just demanding their life.
Yeah, like, fuck you, dude. I don't have to do this.
I don't know
I'm being nice. Yeah, I'm just trying to be a nice guy, give you something that'll make you happy, and you can't even say please for it? The fuck? Jesus. So apparently one of the younger guys asked if he was, quote, that guy from the X-Men. Mm-hmm. This is this guy's story. So this guy says, quote, he got offended by that and started pushing my other friends around. He said he's been in so many other movies or whatever at that point. So that's this guy's story. Okay. Apparently Vinny's on vacation. His publicist didn't know what the hell he was doing in South Dakota. Yeah. Apparently he was there on a hunting trip, actually.
That makes sense.
But this Bickett apparently Bickett's mother, the first kid, she came out to the paper, and a woman named Deb Bickett, and she said that her son had to have eye surgery for his injuries and incurred hospital bills. She says, quote, Jones doesn't want to run into me. She's going to kick his ass, really? Apparently. Okay. Jones was treated at the hospital, then charged with simple assault and posted bond. Vinny was. Now, the story comes starts to unravel a little bit. February 2008, this is funny. The Barrera and the two people he was with were arrested after police intercepted 2 packages of marijuana reportedly intended for them at a FedEx office.
Oh, they're dickheads.
They're having big shipments come in. They staged a raid on his apartment and found $18,000 in cash and a gun, and they had charged with possession and intent to distribute and all that shit.
And gun possession.
Yeah, we'll get back to the...
their lives are fucked.
We'll get back to the fight in a minute here. He's in a movie called Untitled. Who cares? It's
actually called Untitled?
Untitled. You didn't even have the creativity to give it a name. They were like, no one called the movie that yet? Fuck. I guess just do it.
It's ours.
Fuck it. It's called Movie. Next, he's in Year One. Remember that? The Jack Black movie? Yeah. He's in that.
He's the big... Oh, I know exactly who he is in that movie.
So, I knew you'd know him, and it's from a ton of shit.
So wild how many dumb shit movies I've seen.
Fuck, man. He's in Legend of the Bog.
Nope.
That's when a bog body, a 2,000-year-old murder victim preserved in a peat bog, is disturbed by developers in rural Ireland. An archaeologist and a hunter and their helpers faced the task of sending him back where he came from. 3.1 out of 10 on.
It's a monster movie.
Yeah, it's like a shit, like a
Bogman.
A Bogman horror.
Stupid
crap movie. May 27, 2009, he's in court for the bar brawl. They have surveillance videos now, and surveillance videos show a bloody Vinnie, who's already been hit with a glass, fucking pummeling a guy named Juan Cervino, the Barrera guy, punching the shit out of him in a hallway. This is minutes after his friends hit him with a beer glass and a beer bottle, by the way. They hit him twice.
Smashed in the head twice,
causing deep cuts on his head. The Barrera guy says the attack was unprovoked, but the Vinnie saying it's self-defense, obviously. He said he was hunting pheasant there. He said he was at the bar and people are asking him for autographs, and he was posing for pictures with people. This is the thing too, and this is why I don't fucking go out when we go on the road, because if you have a fucking bunch of people that like you and around you, and you're in some fucking shithole dump with
somebody
some
there,
angry asshole, they're gonna try to fucking do something. I don't want to fucking deal with. Not that we're obviously no one's like, oh, you guys strangers, but if we do our show, and then people that go to our show go to a bar, and then if we go to that bar, they're gonna talk to us. They're gonna fucking want pictures and hang out, and that's great. We're gonna hang out, but then there's gonna be a couple of fucking yokels that get pissy about it. That's what happens. They don't like that.
And who the fuck are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody, obviously.
Exactly.
You don't know who I am, so what's the matter?
What do you care? Yeah. So apparently they saw him taking photos and all this type of shit with a bunch of the locals, because it's South Dakota. No one comes there.
No.
So apparently after he's done with that, he went over and asked if he could play pool with the guys. And one of the guys said, quote, "You're Juggernaut from X-Men. You're not getting in this game."
What does that mean?
I don't like Juggernaut from X-Men.
I take it very seriously, my comic books.
You're a bad guy.
You're a bad guy.
Basically,
what?
Yeah. He said another guy told him.
Also, Bullet-Tooth Tony.
Yeah, motherfucker. Do you know that?
Did you know what that means? Bullet-Tooth Tony was shot like 9 times. They took all the bullets out and melted him down into a tooth and put it in his fucking mouth.
Yeah.
And that's why they call him Bullet-Tooth Tony. He's a bad man.
No, apparently not. He's Juggernaut from X-Men, and he's not allowed to play pool. So I guess he said at this point, somebody else told him to go back to his friends. He said, and then the Barrera guy came up and what Vinnie describes as storms up to him and said, quote, "If you're wearing that LA Dodgers hat, you've got a problem." That's what he said.
Boy, so, South Dakota's really got to step up.
Fuck you, rednecks. Yeah. Well, they're just fucking asshole bored rednecks. Fuck you guys. I mean, people up there, but these assholes are. And Vinnie said that he said to him, quote, "If it pleases you, I can turn the hat around." He said he was trying to be extra nice.
Yeah.
He offered to turn the hat around. He said then they started swearing at him, and one of the men spit on him, and then he was hit in the face with a beer mug.
My word.
For no reason. And he said at the court, he demonstrated with a water pitcher what happened. He said then another man hit him with a beer bottle. He said, and then Barrera started cursing at him, and somebody else spit on him, and it happened all over again, basically. And he said, Jones said, quote, "Now there's so much blood, there's girls screaming, there's guys going mad. I knew I was in over the top here, and I was in a bad situation." He's got a bunch of guys coming at him from nowhere. He said he wanted to leave because a woman was yelling that someone had a knife, but the bar manager walked him toward the restroom to wash his cuts. He said in the hallway he ran into the Barrera guy again, and the guy said, "Have you had enough, old man?" So he said that at that point he was, basically
not yet. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's when it's seen on video pummeling this guy when it's all even up.
Have you had enough, old man?
He said,
"Actually,
sure.
I'm about to beat the shit out of you on camera."
That's what he said. It's going to be played in court someday. He said, "I thought I was going to do what his mates had just done. I thought he was going to smash me with a glass when he came past." And so at that point, he said he beat the shit out of him. Yeah. That's when we're seeing him beat up Barrera. Jones had to have 70 stitches.
Wow.
So it's a lot of fucking stitches, basically, here. He's faced with a crime.
You're telling me that a man probably in his 50s at that point, right? Yeah, he's
65.
Wow.
1965. He's like 45.
What year is it?
He's born in 1965. This is like 2008.
Okay, so a 45-year-old man.
That's a 45-year-old sturdy guy. He's
requiring 70 stitches.
Yeah.
pummeled a 24-year-old kid.
Yeah. A 45-year-old dude who's like a tough dude,
right.
He's in the prime of his tough. He's got old man strength.
Yeah.
And is like, don't fuck with that guy.
Been through shit.
Yeah, don't fuck with him. He's got like hands that'll squeeze and shit. That's a tough mother.
Yeah. Actual vices.
Yeah, that's a tough dude, man. They only have open and closed tight. They have 2 settings from work and shit like that.
They have rest and
squeeze
and remove the hardest tops and lids from jars
and remove thy testicles from my body. Spike them on the pitch. So he says that he didn't even get to go hunting during the trip, but he does want to return to there to hunt. He said, quote, Jesus Christ, hopefully if my wife will let me, and it'll be straight to the lodge this time.
If my wife.
The court found out that Barrera, in court, he had to answer that he signed a contract with a tabloid newspaper to sell his story.
TMZ.
And it had different rates, a higher rate if Jones was found guilty.
Yeah.
No, if Jones was found guilty.
Really?
Or if he was not guilty, then he gets more money because then it's more true, basically. So they found that out. The whole thing kind of fell apart. But Vinny still, he's got to fucking get it together here.
Jesus.
You can't be fighting and running around and doing crazy shit in bars. It's just not good.
No.
It's not good. But I mean, he's got a lot of auditions. He's got a lot of things going on. There's one audition he goes on here after a minute, and it's a familiar place too. He's like, what the hell, what am I doing here? And okay, this is the casting office, I guess. And he's got his script in his hand, and he goes in there, knocks on the door, opens it, and it's not a casting agent though. It's Vince McMahon, CEO of the World Wrestling Entertainment, and he says, how is it you've come to arrive here? What the hell is... Listen, I have to say this, but I don't really mean it. Come closer, come closer. I love what you're doing. I love it. We could get you. This is the thing. All right, we're going to get you bloody. Okay, this is what we do, right? We're going to get you bloody.
Get your collar.
We're going to get you collar. That's right. We're going to do it hard way, though. None of this pussy cutting your own head. Now we're going to have a man hit you in the head. Just with a beer mug, right? Just holding the handle. Rack you right in the head, right? You're going to fall on the floor. Bloody. But then you're going to go after him. He's going to call you an old man. You say, I'm not taking that shit at all. That's what you're going to say. You're going to get in his face. You're going to beat him down into the bar. Oh, God, I love it. Take your shirt off. Take your goddamn shirt off.
Tear his cock off.
Put your overalls on. Put them on for me. I can't take it. No, don't grab me. Please, let me go. I want him to poof. And in a poof of 1099s and bad CAT scans and CTE-laden CAT scans. He's gone.
And private insurance cards.
Dragged away. And your own coverage. These people are very confused.
Yeah.
Very confusing. He's then in a movie called The Heavy, which is just mob crap. It's like a 5 out of 10. He's then in a bad horror movie called The Bleeding, which is 2.9 out of 10.
Lord.
Bad stuff. 2010, Locked Down he's in. 2010, in April 28th, he starts a brawl with a co-actor. A guy named Tamer Hassan. Do you know this guy?
I do.
You know this guy? Okay.
Is he a comedian?
I don't know. He's an actor, and he's a former boxer. He's a boxer who broke his hand. That's the only reason he quit boxing.
Really?
Apparently he's a pretty tough son of a bitch here. They get in a fight, they're at the Chateau Marmont in Hollywood there, and apparently Vinny attacked him.
Right on Sunset.
Right there, they were hanging out. Attacked him, and the other guy was defending himself, and he apparently this guy Tamer headbutted him. After this is what happened. They called it just a friendly. This is amazing. Quote, a friendly bloodshed between blokes after a drink and a curry.
Oh boy,
this is how people hang out. That's how we hang out, and we fight each other. There's no problem. It happened. I guess they met at a restaurant, and they had an earlier argument around Christmas apparently, and then things
sorted it out tonight.
Yeah, Hassan, the spokeswoman for the first guy here, he said that the guy offered to shake Vinny's hand, and Vinny said, "Are we all right?" And then she said, though, Jones became aggressive and then slapped away his outstretched hand that he was trying to shake. Vinny slapped away his hand, and then then the other guy's lawyer, Hassan's lawyer, said, quote, "My client informs me he was subjected to an unprovoked attack by Vinnie Jones. He regrets being put in the position of having to defend himself, but defend himself he did." And Jones claims he was the victim. He said, quote, that he was having a business dinner with 2 film producers and his wife, Tanya. He said Tamer Hassan was also in the restaurant, and the film director took Vinnie over to meet him. Vinnie offered his hand and suggested burying the hatchet, which was rebuffed. Yeah. So he's saying it's the other way.
2010?
Yeah, 2010.
Wow, 2010, her heart's still going.
It's still going, still kicking.
Wow.
Said rather than making a scene, Vinnie suggested they go outside, where Tamer Hassan became more belligerent and finally headbutted Vinnie, at which point security was called. And he said then Jones went and rejoined his party. And then he ended up playing, yesterday he was playing football with the Hollywood All-Star soccer team, as he always does on Sundays. Mm-hmm. That's what he does on Sundays, and there you go. So there was that. June of 2010, he signs on to an American television show called The Cape as a series regular. Yeah. He's playing a powerful criminal named Scales. Scales is described as a man with a freakish skin condition that gives him the appearance of green and gold scales.
Gross.
Which sounds fucking terrible. Didn't do too well. I think it lasted 1 season, 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. Mm-hmm. Not very good. He appears on Celebrity Big Brother, I guess in the UK there. He finishes 3rd.
Really?
In this, yeah.
He did great.
I found a little breakdown of it, and it said that he was on this. Apparently, when he got there, people loved him. There was big cheers and everybody loved him. He was a favorite to win the whole thing. But over time, people started hating him. Yeah. Like the public started hating him, and crowds would chant, "Get Vinnie out," on the final night, and then booed him as he left the house and finished in 3rd place. Fucking amazing.
That's a brutal show, man.
It's terrible. Yeah. It's an awful show.
Yeah.
He said it was like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in there, and I was Jack Nicholson. Which
he's seen a lot of American shit.
He's got to see movies. Yeah. He's in a movie called Inversion then. 2011, as The Cape movie comes out, he's in a movie, or TV show. He's in a movie called Kill the Irishman with Val Kilmer, Christopher Walken, and Vincent D'Onofrio.
Wow. That's a hell of a cast.
I would say it sounds decent too. It's the true story of Danny Green, a tough Irish thug working for mobsters in Cleveland in the 70s.
Wow.
That could be kind of good. If it's made well, it'll be good. It's a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. That's not bad, actually. That's really good.
Who's
on there.
the gangster?
I don't know. Val Kilmer, Christopher Walken, Vincent D'Onofrio's got to be some kind of gangster, because he can play.
It's certainly not Val Kilmer. He's got.
I wouldn't think so. He's probably a cop or so. What's it? Kill the Irishman though. So he could be an Irish guy.
Yeah,
we'll never know though. He's fat by then though.
Yeah,
so
and he's wearing like a bag, dude. He's
all messed up. He's in The Age of Dragons. After that, he's in You May Not Kiss the Bride. He's in a movie called The Liquidator, which it sounds like a bad fucking laxative.
Yeah.
The Liquidator.
He's so funny. He's such a great comedic actor.
He's in Not Another Movie. That's one of those goofy movies. He's in that.
He's in Not Another movie?
They ran out of ideas there.
Wow.
He plays Nancy Longbottom in that.
He's a woman in
apparently. 2012, he's in Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted.
Hey, well, what's he voice?
Freddy the dog.
That's awesome.
That's fucking amazing.
It's a movie with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Around this time, he gets in trouble for getting a picture taken. Someone takes a picture of him kissing a girl in a club, and his wife gets super fucking pissed because they show it on TV and all this type of shit. Obviously, not happy at all. He's in a real Justin Timberlake situation.
Yeah.
Bad times. Something tells me he had to spend a little cash on that one.
Get on Instagram with your notes app.
Not good. Not a good thing happening here. Bad stuff.
You see a celebrity with a notes app snapshot, just a screen grab from notes, and you know it's an apology, and I can't wait to read
stuff.
it.
Something bad's going on.
This is going to be good.
Oh, man. And then he's in a movie called Hijacked, Freelancers, and Magic Boys. That's not one movie. Those are 3 movies.
That's 3 different movies?
It's not Hijacked, Freelancers, and Magic Boys altogether. 3 separate movies. Then he's on Fire with Fire, another movie. 2013, Fractured. He's in Armed Response.
My God.
All sorts of movies. He's also done living in England.
He's out of there
totally
now.
Done. He's been in America, but now he's going to talk shit about England.
If those boys in in North Dakota, South Dakota, in the Dakota.
South of there.
Had they just pulled up his IMDb and then told him you were this, and just read all these, and then be like, no,
they would have been tired by
then
that.
Then he would have been fine with it.
Yeah,
he was just upset that they only mentioned X-Men. He's
fuck
like,
you.
There was 89 others, motherfuckers.
Been in a lot of movies. Oh, Jesus. About England, he said, quote, "There's nothing to come back to here. To me, England is past its sell-by date. It's not the country I grew up in. It's a European country." Now, he's super conservative. He doesn't want, it's a European country now. If someone blindfolded you and put you on a plane in L.A. and you landed in Heathrow and they took it off, you wouldn't have a clue where you were. In L.A., then he talks about what he gets. In L.A., a bottle of Ribena, that's some English shit, is $14, but I get my Walker's Crisps delivered once a month. I have a box of roast chicken. A box of roast chicken?
What?
The fuck is that?
What are you talking about?
Come on, England. No, sometimes we're like, yeah, right, that makes sense, but that's not on us. A box of roast chicken? What the shit is that? What is that?
That sounds disgusting.
A box of salt and vinegar, like potato chips maybe, and a box of Monster Munch. Crunch and Munch?
Is this all just English shit that he loves?
It's English shit. He's in a movie called Escape Plan with Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
What? What year is that?
2012, 13.
Oh, no.
Extraction he's in. Ambushed. Blood of Redemption. Right around this time, his wife Tanya is diagnosed with skin cancer, which is not good. And so is Vinny.
Really?
Vinny finds a lump under his eye, and it turns out it's malignant melanoma. And so they both have to get cancer treatments here. And his wife, not only did she have a heart transplant, she's already been treated twice for cervical cancer.
God.
In addition, now she's got skin cancer. She's just tough, man.
You can't bring Brits to California
apparently
and put them in the sun.
That's not going to work, man. They're not made for that shit.
You guys are...
No, it's bad. So he said, quote, "I have to smother myself with Factor 50 now after my skin cancer scare. I lather it on 3 or 4 times during a round of golf, and I wear a wide-brimmed trilby outside at all times."
Big
it's
hat.
A hat.
Yeah.
Big stupid hat. Okay.
I look like an asshole now.
I look like kind of an asshole. Kind of a guy that you'd make fun of in a bar.
I look like a Brit who's a fucking tourist.
Yeah, that can't go out in the sun. He said, "We've been through a lot with my wife and her health. She has a lot to take. She has to take a lot of medication for her heart transplant. So what I had was minimal compared to what she's been through. My skin cancer honestly doesn't come up much in mind. It doesn't come in mind that much. My wife is the one who's always on me about putting sunscreen on. She's doing fabulously now. It'll be 30 years ago in May that she had her heart transplant. She's the most incredible person. I think we're the perfect match, and I was lucky to find it." And she took me back after I kissed a chick and got a picture taken.
I got a picture taken of that one, so clearly I've kissed a lot.
Yes, but at this point he quits drinking.
Oh.
Big difference to him. Quits drinking, vows to be healthy and make a different thing. Because this is a tough time.
His mortality.
Yeah. This and his wife and everything else, and it's tough. I mean, Jesus, you got his wife. I feel this poor woman.
I feel awful for her.
Jesus Christ, and even him and the kid. I mean, I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I really do, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Vinnie Jones, student at University of California, Berkeley.
Yeah.
Vinnie Jones, music director at the Greater Zion Church in Brockton, Massachusetts. Vinnie Jones, precious metal electroplater in the Greater Bournemouth area. There. Vinnie Jones, worker at McDonald's in Charlotte, North Carolina. Even him.
There's probably several on that roster.
Oh, a lot. Vinnie Jones, valet at Ultimate Parking in Boston, Massachusetts. So, it's a lot of people to feel bad for here. 2014, he's in an episode of that shit show Psych, that terrible show. It's on like USA or something.
Oh no, is it like Punk'd?
No. It's like a sitcom piece of shit. It looks fucking terrible. I've seen commercials for it. It looks awful. Redirected, he's in a movie called Redirected. His character name is Golden Pole. Then. Puncture Wounds, he's in Way of the Wicked. He's in Throwdown, Reaper, Gut Shot Straight. What the fuck is this? Vischistolisal? I don't know what the fuck that is.
Vischistolisal? What?
Vischistolisal. Vychislittle.
Well, that's
just a little.
That sounds like a license plate for like somebody trying to say something
It sounds like the suggested password when you try to make one. They're like, how about this? Like, I can't remember if it's just a little. What the fuck are you talking about? It's what it is.
Hysterical.
2015. He's in Toxin. He's in Awaken. He's in Mercenary Absolution, which sounds like a MMA card from back then.
Yes.
Rivers 9. He's in Checkmate, 6 Ways to Die, Gridlocked, which wasn't there a Tupac movie called Gridlocked?
Apostrophe D.
Yeah, this isn't. This is ED.
Okay.
They were like, you know what, let's spell it right, and then we can make it. He's in a movie called Bite. In 2016, he's on an interview show in England where he has to be told to stop swearing twice in 5 minutes on television.
I love that.
Just forgets.
That's awesome.
He said, quote, "It's hard to talk and not swear, isn't it?" I mean, you know what? More sympathetic I could not be, dude. I get it. He's in a movie called Kill Kane, in a TV series also called Gallivant, and there's a movie called Decommissioned, Midnight Man, another movie. He's on an episode of the new MacGyver as well. 2017 Cross Wars. He's in some movie. Also hasn't had a drink in 4 years.
That's great.
He says, quote, "More than anything, giving up booze has made it a lot easier for us in our relationship," is a lot more steady about his wife. He says, "In March, I will have gone 4 years without a drop of alcohol. I'm annoyed with myself that I didn't give it up sooner. At some stage down the road, people will see how bad alcohol is. People talk about weed and cocaine, but I think alcohol is the worst. People are putting poison in their bodies day in, day out, and the truth about alcohol has got to come out. It's self-harming. Weed is legal over here," he's in California, "but I've never touched it in my life. The booze was enough for me. I was crazy enough from the booze. I was a beer and wine man. I'm off it. Now I'm off it. I'm calmer and happier. I play golf most days. I'm up at 6 a.m. The sun's out and it's gorgeous."
What's he talking about?
Feeling
the truth's got to come out. Like,
the booze is like...
People don't know? What's he talking about?
I think he's talking about the fact that everything else is fucking demonized, and booze is like,
it's terrible.
Budweiser, it's the thing of parties. Hey, Coors Light,
well, I mean, that's
sponsoring the football game, and there's dancing chicks, and it's not thought of. Nobody.
I see it as being sold like that, but I think everybody knows it's really fucking bad for you.
Yeah, but as society, they're trying to say it's fine. The rest of society,
it's fun.
Beer billboards, they're saying how much fun it is. Yeah. Most people that are drunk aren't having fun.
Yeah,
they're doing it because they're sad. Right. That's what I think he's saying.
Okay,
which I get, and he's saying you're going to demonize all this shit when this is fucking way worse, and I completely agree with that.
It's
totally
bad
fucking
stuff,
agree
but
with that.
I don't think anybody thinks that it's great stuff.
No, I would hope not.
No,
I mean,
I think everybody knows that it's fucking poison and it's killing us.
I much prefer the weed thing on that one. Yeah,
and keep drinking.
Have a good time. July 16, 2017, he says his Twitter has been hacked because he woke up in the morning to discover his timeline was just all dead foxes. That's all it was.
Somebody seriously hacked him.
Yeah, a picture of dead foxes were posted on his account, which made people just fucking rip into him. You piece of shit. It was a thing of like 100 dead foxes all lined up in rows.
Oh, no,
giant
he did it.
Fucking thing. Well, he says it wasn't. They said it's all lined up. It's fucking creepy looking. It's a lot of dead shit. He says, "I just woke up to see these tweets with fox pics. This is a hack. I've never seen this pic in my life," and capital letters. "I did not tweet it. It's a hack." Then people were fucking tweeting at him, calling him a killer and all this type of shit. He says he likes to hunt, and he says he even, he'll hunt foxes. He said, quote, "It's legal to hunt foxes. I hunt foxes. I didn't fucking kill all these foxes." Later on, he said that he tweeted that they found out it was an Australian guy that hacked him.
So somebody did get him.
Ongoing research has shown the picture was taken in Australia and loaded to the internet in Australia. So one of those things. Then nowadays, he's worried about CTE. Because he says, quote, "You look at British footballers compared to the American footballers who are protected with helmets." Let's calm down. Yeah, you're also
think soccer is as physical as American football?
Yeah, we've talked to people about that. People go, "Oh, they hit each other. They don't have pads." Get the fuck out of here.
Stop it.
There is not a player on that field of soccer that is 6'6", 280 pounds that runs a 4.5 40. That does not exist in soccer. It just doesn't. That is running at you with the intent of fucking damaging you.
Right.
And it's legal to blast you. That doesn't exist.
No.
They do hit their heads a lot. That's true, but it's not. It's apples and oranges.
You get red cards and thrown out for that shit.
I mean, you're not allowed to hit in the head in football either, but it just happens as you're being driven into the ground on every soccer. The goal isn't to drive the guy into the ground on every play.
You don't have to get hit in the head to get a concussion.
That's the other thing.
You can get hit in the chest, and your fucking brain slams into your skull.
They're hitting each other so hard with such force that literally it's whiplash accidents where you're like a car accident where your brain's hitting your skull.
You don't have to hit them in the fucking head to hurt them.
And we're not saying soccer's not dangerous and they fall, and it is. It's just apples and oranges.
You can't compare the two.
Yeah, a lot of it's apples and oranges. That's
ridiculous.
All it is. He says they're protected with helmets, and it's quite frightening to see how much it pounds the inside of your head when you have when you head a ball full blast. That's the other thing. Soccer, those headers are causing that too. They said that they've been saying that for years, which is not contact. That's contact with the ball, and that's absolutely something.
That ball comes fast.
Yeah, it's hard.
Heavy.
And he said there's definitely got to be something in it. He says he keeps he tries to keep in touch with a lot of the people. One guy he lost touch with was his old buddy, fucking Paul Gascione, or lost touch with him. They were pals after that. He said, he's by the way, he commissioned a giant oil painting of grabbing his balls. That picture, I've seen it. It's on the oil painting.
He bought it.
It's fucking beautiful. I wish we would have done this as a live show. I really do. There's so much visual.
So funny.
He said, quote, "It's now one of the first things that people see when they come into our house." Picture of him fucking
an old joystick.
The old joystick here. He said Gaza is struggling with alcohol addiction. I guess at this point that guy had said he nearly died 19 times and had been in and out of rehab.
Really?
He'll have his own episode. He said, quote, "I've not had any contact with Gaza for months. When I read about him and his struggles, my heart falls out of my body. I feel very sad for him, but I don't know what the answer is." Obviously, yeah, that makes sense.
No, you move him to your house and you be a sponsor.
He says he wants to work hard. He lives next door to Tarantino.
Really?
So yeah, he's making dough. He lives next door to Tarantino. He owns a bunch of properties in the UK. This isn't like 2017. I don't know if he's moved. He said, "I left home at 15 with a black bin liner with my valuables in it, and I started bumming around, sleeping on people's couches. I don't ever want to go back to that. I've got a huge responsibility with family, ensuring everyone's okay, and that's driven me forward. I have 3 or 4 companies now and fingers in different pies, so I need that stability. When you're an actor, unless you're getting paid $10 million a movie, you've got to have other interests. I don't want to be reliant on the acting." Smart guy. He's the face of Walker's some shit. I don't know, the London Crisp Company there. That's the one he says he keeps at his house.
The chips.
He's got that. He says, "I'm involved in the business and determined to make it a hit. You've got to grab life by the balls." Good
you
job.
Bastard.
Good job. He's in a TV.
Well done, Vinny.
Not bad. TV series called Deception as Gunter Gustafson. Jesus.
That's very British.
The Gandhi murder. He's in Madness, an episode of NCIS LA, Los Angeles there.
Did I just learned that Gandhi was murdered?
I don't know if maybe Gandhi murdered other people.
I thought Gandhi died from drinking his own piss.
I thought he was pretty old.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
He's in Cross 3, and he's got 4 films that are going to be released in 2020.
Wow.
That he's already completed.
He's working.
Here are his film roles, his names. Okay, let's go through the list because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Big Chris, Bullet Tooth Tony, Sphinx Marco, Danny Meehan, Rodan, Lou Harris, Mad Maynard, Michael Kittredge, Killer, Winston Briggs, Henry, Bob, Sean, Johnny Doyle, Coach Dinklage, Detective Bryce, Trainer, Juggernaut, Rommel, Smasher O'Driscoll, Mike Sullivan, Ewan McStarley, Roddy Nightingale, Mongrel, Mr. Black, Billy Wings, Mahogany, Kane, Mr. Hunter, Sargon, McTeague, Anton Vargas, Stubbs, Dunn, Brick, Gunner, Nancy Longbottom, Freddie the Dog, Boyd, Joe Ballard, Sully, Jack Varga, Drake, Lieutenant Colonel, and Brett Willoughby.
Those are great. And I can see his face in all those names.
Those are all his.
That's not bad.
Those are his fucking names.
Very well casted.
Absolutely. So he's doing that. Casted?
I think it's cast.
It's cast. Very well cast. It's definitely cast. It's not casted.
Right.
But that's fine. So, he's got all this going on. The problem is, here, last year, 2 years ago, his wife died.
No.
Tanya dies, which is very, very sad. And he is fucking crushed by it. And I mean, obviously he's crushed by it. He really loved her, it seems like.
She's got a tragic life, man.
And his wife passes away finally from cancer. And dude, I read the article and it was him telling the story about it.
Oh no.
Fucking heartbreaking. Absolutely ripped my fucking guts out. Yeah. He was just so fucking upset. He was talking about his family. It was fucking horrible, man. It was absolutely horrible. And there's one line where he says, I talked to another guy whose wife died 15 years ago, and he said, never gets any easier. And I was like, Jesus, that's, He said he never doesn't want to get married again. He's done with all that shit. And, he's done, he says, with whatever. And,
He's just a mess.
He's a fucking disaster. Yeah. He's a mess. He's an
emotional mess.
He's going to try to keep it together. He's got adult kids. He's got an acting career and that sort of thing. But now he's not drinking. He's doing charity work. He's got he's like there's a breast cancer gala that he's the keynote speaker for and shit like that in 2020 in October. He's got a bunch of stuff going on.
The daughter?
No, it's just, I think it's
regular,
just, I think it was just out there. Yeah, it's just cancer. Cancer, yeah. His wife had a lot of cancer. And so very, very sad, this whole thing. Very sad. But that's Vinnie Jones.
Unbelievable.
Crazy goddamn story. Yeah. If there ever
minimal
was one.
crime, but boy, oh boy,
he got arrested like 4 times for crazy shit. But
he's got a life,
and a lot of it seems like it's like it could have gone the other way. Could have been crime, I guess, but didn't have to go that way. So yeah, that is Vinnie Jones. Now, before we get to the end of this, it is time, Jimmy. Yeah. It's time for you've heard the Oscars. Like I said, the prestige of these things. There's a lot of prestigious awards. Right. I mean, people get awards for like curing cancer and shit like that.
The spotlights are hot.
The spotlights are very hot right now. Right. There's a lot of enough pictures. Okay?
Right,
we get it.
Right,
we get it. We understand. There's everybody's
not that big of a deal.
I mean, all the dresses,
the flashes,
all the beautiful ladies with their special dresses. It's unbelievable, honestly.
Really
what everybody's the pageantry and everything like that. It's like a royal wedding, really, is what it is. Yeah. Nothing compares to the wonder of the 2020 Scummie Awards.
Yes.
The Scummies. It's I can feel it. It's in the air. There's something here.
I've missed these.
I've missed the Scummie Awards. It's that time of year again, everybody. You can hear it. You can feel it.
Yeah.
All the spotlights are in the air. Let's get to it. The Scummie Awards. I can't wait. Right away, we'll start off. We have a couple they're not competitions.
No.
They're a giveaway to somebody who deserves it.
Yeah.
And the first one is the but not nearly as bad as award. This is a person with the most complicated same name as an asshole athlete that really, I mean, you're like, people are going to go, oh, that's definitely him. It's a problem. It's a problem. This year it goes to Alexander Emelianenko. Poor bastard. A computer and accessory salesman in Moscow.
Oh, the poor fuck.
Poor son of a bitch. He's like, I'm not Grim Reaper. I killed no one. The Golden Gilretha Award.
Yes, this is my favorite one.
Which goes to the most supportive woman in a criminal athlete's life, going against all logic, self-interest, and any public, you name it. Helping. It goes to someone every year. It's the Golden Gilretha. Gilretha was Carlton Dotson's mom.
Oh my God, was that the guy from Baylor?
The guy from Baylor, I believe that's where it came from. Or was it Ray Carruth's mom?
I don't remember.
It was
either way.
It was a murderer's mom.
Mom.
It was a murderer's mom. The Golden Girl. No. It was God damn it. It was somebody terrible's mother. Yeah. Now somehow we forgot that. This year it goes to
the namesake of the award.
I don't know how we forgot that. It's totally. You know why? It's 3:10 a.m. Jimmy. I haven't slept in 4 days. That's why. I bet tomorrow I'll remember. It's Elizabeth Hart, who is Jim the Anvil Neidhart's wife.
Oh.
Bret the Hitman Hart's sister. She married Jim the Anvil in 1979.
Yeah.
They were married until 2000.
Wow.
You know all the shit that happened in that. Complete fuckery.
Stuck around.
All sorts of shit. They get a divorce in 2000. Then she remarried him in 2010.
Yeah.
Come on. Golden Gilretha, it goes to you.
Speaking
Not
of
even close.
Jim, by the way, his daughter is a wrestler now, too.
Oh, yeah.
And holy shit, is she beautiful.
Oh, yeah. No,
you would
well
never,
too.
looking at that dude's face, you would never assume he would create such a beautiful woman.
Yeah, and the Hart family either. You look at them too.
Yeah,
she's make an interesting woman, and somehow it worked out well for him. But good for her. Next up is the Skip Bayless Award for biggest liar of the Crime in Sports, because Skip Bayless is just a liar.
Just a patent
full of shit.
Yeah.
He just says shit that he thinks people will be mad at, and that's his game. So fuck this guy. The Skip Bayless Award for biggest liar. First up is Mitch Blood Green.
Yeah.
He says he ran a gas station. I feel like that's a huge lie that you can't get out. That's a crazy lie to do here. Second is OJ.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. OJ purported himself as this American icon. He's, bounding over luggage at the airport, and then he's murdering people. He's like, I didn't murder nobody.
He's out finding people.
What's that? I'm going to find the real killer.
Find the real killer.
On the 16th hole. It's going to happen. And third, and this one he's automatically disqualified because we did an episode, but it's Lenny Dykstra because his criminal actions would qualify him for it. But now he screwed it all up by being the most honest.
And he admits to all of it.
He screwed it all up, and now he's not a liar anymore. So he's disqualified from this. The winner here, drum roll for the winner of this, is the first one, OJ Simpson. It's OJ. No one's
hell of a liar.
That's a bigger lie, I would say.
Quite the bullshitter.
That's not my glove, my ass. So, most apt nickname. Yeah. This is one of my favorites.
Solid ones.
Solid is a good category here. Most apt nickname. There's an extra person in this category, an extra qualifier here, because we had so many nicknames this year. I mean, we have, here are our nominees. Mitch Blood Green. Yeah. It's a good one. That's a good one
solid.
Right there. Justin the Executioner Levens.
Pretty decent.
Remember, this is apt to them. This is the best, Floyd Money Mayweather. That fits him very well. And Alexander the Grim Reaper Emelianenko. These are our four. Now, there's a lot. We had the Diesel, White Steel, the Anvil, Dirty Dick, the Hawk, Pac-Man, the Worm, the Doc, the Big Dog, the Atomic Bull, the Gator, the Fly, Grandmaster Sexay, Rusty, and Mookie this year.
We also had Nails.
And Nails.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was before, but that's a shitload.
Yeah.
So the winner in this one, it's a tie.
Yeah.
It's a tie. It's a tie. The Grim Reaper's automatically disqualified because he didn't actually reap anybody. Right. No death there.
No murder.
Floyd Money Mayweather is one.
Got a shitload.
Got a shitload of money, like $400 million. And Justin the Executioner Levens, because he killed people. So there you go. He's that works there.
I say that's the guy that wins.
That's a tie. Well, money too. If he didn't have $400 million, I would say it's a runaway. But he's really apt, that nickname for him.
I want to see him go broke so that
that'd be great.
So that Justin wins.
Absolutely. Now, least apt nickname. This is a new award. Award here for everybody. There's a couple of new ones this time. Yeah. Least apt nickname. This is a nickname that doesn't describe the person the best. First, Doc Gooden. Yeah. That man is not a doctor of any sort.
No.
Of any kind.
There are drugs involved.
Dwight Doc Gooden. Yes, he's a doctor of cocaine, maybe, but outside of that, nothing else. The Atomic Bull.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Doesn't even make sense.
Radiation was involved or what. The bull sort of does. Fly Williams. He's toothless. There's nothing fly about that. He has no teeth. That's not fly. I'm sorry. And finally, Grandmaster Sexay. Brian Christopher Lawler, which is another one.
The sexiest racist on earth.
That's winner here. Winner is Grandmaster Sexay.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Was neither a Grandmaster nor Sexay. Right. So we're going to say not him. You win and lose at the same time, Brian. Sorry about that.
You get nothing.
You get nothing.
Good day, sir.
Good day to you, sir. Now, let's see here. We now have the award for this is a very prestigious award. This is a big one. This is a lot of the big dogs fighting for this one. A lot of money involved in this one. A lot of campaigning, things like that, like full page ads and Variety and things of that nature, podcast magazines. You know how it goes here. You know how they'll campaign these big shots. This is for the top silver-haired middle-aged white man award. This is very big and prestigious.
Yes, who's the worst?
Who has facilitated the most fuckery?
Right.
First up, Dana White of the UFC.
Yeah.
He's been under the radar on this one the last couple of years.
And he runs the name. A word from the phrase is in his name.
He repeatedly says the UFC doesn't put up with criminal behavior and then hires people who beat the shit out of their wives. So that's a, and all sorts of shit that he does.
Hypocrisy.
There's a lot of hypocrisy. It's deep with him. Next up, Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
For getting OJ off of a murder charge. I mean, that's as silver as you get. I mean, dead to rights, and he got him off. There's never been anyone. That's amazing.
Pretty good.
That's good. And finally, Fritz von Erich, Kerry von Erich's father, for ignoring all of his son's drug problems because they were selling lots of tickets at the time. So he just said, "Don't say anything," which made him tumble into a suicidal funk because he was arrested for drugs a whole bunch. Not good. Very silver for his own, to line his own pockets.
His whole all of his kids really did it all.
He did it for everybody.
Ruined everybody for his own benefit.
Lined his pockets, and that's all three of these people have been detrimental, put out people detrimental to society to line their own pockets. And the winner here, Dana White. It's Dana White because it continues to happen. The other two aren't an issue.
Right.
They're both fucking dead.
And he has supported so many.
And the other two both had brain cancer. Weird, right?
Kidding.
Brain cancer, still fucking up. Dana White, you win, asshole. Enjoy. Next up, this is a good one. This is one the athletes are vying for. They want this one bad. It's a really It's important. It's an important award. Very important, very prestigious for the athletes themselves. This is the award for dumbest scumbag. This is the dumbest, just pure dumb.
Lowest IQ.
Lowest just by action.
Lowest criminal acumen.
By their actions, what has, I can't test them. I don't know what they are on the inside, but what have they shown the world?
We've deciphered.
First up, Nate Newton. Busted for the same exact thing on the same exact fucking road in the same fucking car. Right. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. That's just dumb as shit. Oh, damn. They got me again. Idiot. Second up, Todd Carney for pissing in his own mouth. And posting and having that be like his calling card fucking gif.
Every time he posts something on Twitter, people tweet that at him.
That's what I mean. I don't care what you are. There's nothing as dumb as pissing into your own mouth. That's pretty stupid. And third, he's a close one here. Chris Washburn, who thought he was amphibious.
That's true.
Which is amazing. With a straight face, he told the assembled press that he's a scoring threat because of his amphibiousness.
Right.
So that's pretty impressive. Winner here, Todd Carney. I got to give it to Todd Carney.
Piss in your own face.
I mean, Nate Newton was stupid, but weed shouldn't even be a crime. Pissing in your mouth is always stupid. There's never a time when that's okay. You should piss in your mouth sometimes.
There's never been a very rich, very successful man who's ever had a picture of himself pissing in his own face.
Never, where people are like, that man. Right. Let's put him on the board.
That's our guy.
That's our guy. That's never happened. Now, the next one, this is another very big award here. They just get bigger now. This is like we got best actor, best actress, and then best director, best picture. We're going up right through this. This is longest fall from grace.
Oh Jesus!
This is where were you?
Highest high
and the lowest low.
There you go.
First up, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
I mean, from Nordberg to absolutely despised pariah of society is a huge fucking difference. But most beloved, most fucking hated. You don't do that. Second up, Todd Marinovich.
Yeah.
Now, Todd he kind of represents all that crime in sports is.
So depressing.
The athlete is a kid forced to do things, and it all fell apart.
The cops knew his name.
Yeah.
Todd, stop.
Todd. No, we know it's you, Todd, not you again. But Todd, I mean, he was on the cover of fucking magazines in the 8th grade he was so high up there. He was the perfect, they called him Robo quarterback, the perfect guy. And third also, Kerry von Erich, who went from being, just look up World Class Wrestling Kerry von Erich 1984. Mm-hmm. Find a video of him entering the ring. It sounds like teenage girls' heads all exploded.
Right.
It's crazy what an teen fucking matinee idol he was at one point, and then 6 years later he is a fucking pill junkie that blows his brains out. It's his chest actually, but fucking complete disaster there. Winner here, it's OJ. There's not even a drum roll necessary.
No need.
The farthest fall pretty much as anyone's ever had from grace ever in our entire fucking country. So good job, OJ. Congrats. He's really coming home. We're gonna have to get him a cart to take this shit home in at the end of the night, because he's really loading them up. He is a champ tonight, I got to say here. Next up here, this is, again, prestigious. The guys, they push for this. They fight their whole careers to get this award. This is the Cracked Egg Award for the most brain damage. Just the most brain damage possible here. Now, this year's contestants or nominees this year. First, LB Byers, the hockey player. A lot of brain damage going on there. That was some bad stuff happening. Second up, Dirty Dick Slater, the wrestler who forgot he stabbed his girlfriend. Right. Completely. And I believe him. Everyone else, he did not know he did that. He forgot. That's how fucked up his head is. Yeah. He forgot a stabbing. That sticks out in your head. It does. OJ's like, I should have tried that shit. You could just say
you just say forget?
Fuck, man, I've been hitting the head a lot. You see my games? Shit, man. The helmets were terrible in the 60s and 70s, goddammit. And third, John Cordick, who's the hockey player whose head was so fucked up.
Oh, my God.
That, I mean, between the steroids and the brain damage and the headaches and the drugs, and he ended up dying at 27 in a hospital room or in a hotel room.
Basically, yeah.
In an ambulance. $100 a night shithole with just disgusting. The whole thing was terrible. All kind of based on this cloudy brain that he had here. Winner of this one, John Cordick. Yes. I mean, it caused his death, for God's sake. The other two guys are still walking around. So
it took him.
It took John Cordick. That was a very sad story. Next up, we have another new award.
Yeah.
This is a new one here. This is the Mandy Maloon Award.
Oh.
We're giving Mandy an award. We're naming an honorary award after Mandy for actually contributing something positive to society.
Turning it around.
Not only turning it around, not just for yourself, actually doing shit for other people and being a contributor. And she's out there trying to help take down diddlers and these terrible assholes who are systematically just
grooming and taking advantage
horrible
of
things to these children. So good for you, Mandy. This year's award winner for that's not a competition. It's a giveaway. Nobody gets it. Everybody was terrible this year. Nobody deserves it. That's sad. Hopefully next year. Mandy's going to get. She's going to put it on her shelf. She's going to get the award until someone else deserves it too. Otherwise, it's just going to go back to Mandy. So congrats, Mandy. It's one of the good ones, actually. Now, here's another one. There's only a few left. This is coming to the end here. It's getting more and more. A lot of nerves.
Down to the
wire. I'm looking over the assemblage of everybody, and there's a lot of nerves going. A lot of people taking extra sips of their drinks, keeping their mouths, moist in case they're going to have to make a speech. You never know. Yeah. This one is most likely to have a second Crime in Sports episode. This is a good one. Yeah. Number one, Niall Ranger, the soccer player from the UK who was arrested so many times, over 20 times, I believe, and he's really young. This all happened in a very young, he's like under 30. Yeah. So this is just, he's in prime arresting time right now.
30 under 30.
Oh, big time. 30 under 30, huge. Next up, OJ. Yeah. I feel like he's got a little left in the tank. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's got to fuck up, right?
He's out. He's got a lot of energy. You see him on Twitter, a lot of energy. He's going to have to put that into something, and it's going to be destructive based on what we've seen before.
Might go desperate.
It's possible. And third, BJ Penn.
Yes.
A lot of fuck up left in that guy. He's getting arrested constantly more. He's got
arrest coming just now.
I think a couple times since we've had an episode. He's had some problems. Yeah. So he's in the mix here. And the winner of this one, this is a close one.
Right.
In a squeaker, Niall Ranger.
Oh, he's coming through.
On pure age. Pure age.
Just the opportunity and potential alone.
OJ could drop dead. He wouldn't have an episode.
Just BJ, sheer time.
Yeah, BJ Penn could be, brain damage in a hospital.
Oh, he could hit a tree and die.
Done. Niall Ranger could fuck up for 20 more years. He's got a lot more fuck up in him, I feel like. So good for you, Niall. Take that one home, back to the UK with you. An international one. Good for you guys. There you go, you bastards, you limey fucks. You got yourselves an award. Now, next up, again, very prestigious. People fighting. The amount of politicking and angling I got of just people trying to be nominated for this award. It was just ridiculous. It was too much. This is person you'd least want to date your daughter. Very good award here. Very good award.
52-way tie.
It's a lot of different ties. No, couple of them stand out here. First, Cecil the Diesel Collins, or as we named him, the Sleeper Creeper, as we remember, where he would break into women's homes and
when it's dark,
grope them up and do all sorts of weird
buttholes and shit.
Weird stuff going on there. No one wants him in the house. You can't fall asleep ever. Jesus Christ. Second up on this one, David Tyner, who killed a bunch of women, was in on that murder, the cat house. Remember her? That was David Tyner. That's you don't want anyone near him. He's killing all sorts of women. And third, OJ, of course. I mean, it's OJ. You don't want your daughter going out with OJ. He's going to kill her, beat her, at least beat her and then kill her.
Right.
One of the two.
Police are involved.
Something bad's going to happen is what I'm getting at. And winner of this one is, again, a squeaker. It's a tie. It's a tie. It is OJ and David Tyner. I mean, he was groping the sleeper creeper and everything, but I mean, they were killing people.
They're
taking lives. I mean, that's come on. You can't compare to that. It's murder.
Indiscriminate lives.
Now, indiscriminate. Now, next up here, this award, this is an award where we're rooting for someone to be better. We want this to work. This is the, quote, please turn it around award. Please.
I beg you.
We're rooting for one in the past by Ron LaFleur.
Right.
This is people we like, and we just want it to be better. We're like, come on, man. Number one here, 3 nominees. Number 1, Mookie Blaylock. I loved Mookie Blaylock.
I love him still.
I didn't want that bad shit to happen to him or him to kill people on the road. I didn't want any of that to happen. Turn it around, Mookie. Stop drinking.
Fix it.
Stop drinking and stop driving. Stop drinking. Get Uber and stop drinking, and we're going to be good with you.
And call your kids.
Call your kids. That's right. And on number 2, Doc Gooden. Come on, man. Doc, you're a fucking phenom.
And it seemed like you were doing so great.
A phenom, totally burned out from coke, came back, threw a no-hitter, won the World Series champion, all this type of shit, and you're back in the toilet. Come on, Doc.
Crack.
We want good things to happen to Doc Gooden. And number 3, Todd Marinovich. I'd feel terrible for Todd. They were giving him fucking kidneys to chew on as a baby when he was teething. He never had a chance.
Kidney suckers.
He never had a chance, and he just keeps fucking up, and I want him to turn it around so bad. Now, John Kordick would have been the winner, but he's dead. It's impossible for him to turn it around. So the winner here, it's another tie. This is amazing.
Come on,
the judges,
Marinovich.
the panels. This is when you get a panel, the distinguished panel of Frankie and Benny, sometimes they can't agree on anything. That's what happens here. It's a tie between Doc Gooden and Todd Marinovich. I really want those two to get it.
I'd really like to see Todd be something on TV or something. You know what I mean? Like, just
like
at least giving like the
job of something where
if this guy doesn't do this right, he's going to be me.
Man, something I want to happen. Next up, there's only 3 more left here. Next up here is this is a new award that we're giving away for the first time this year. This is the Lenny Dykstra I'm Good Now Award. This is for someone who they get it. They even have a sense of humor about it. I think they understand what's happening, where they went wrong, and they're not going to be mad about it or anything like that. They shrug and they go, you know what? Sometimes people fuck up, and I'm working on it now. Eat dicks, fella. That's this award. It's a good award to get. Now, the winner of this one, Dennis Rodman had it in his hand. I was about to hand it to him, and then I saw that he's been arrested since we did the episode. I'm like, God damn it, Dennis. I thought, because he's got a sense of humor, shit like that. So I'm going to give it to a guy, I'm not sure that he would, but I'm going to give it to Nate Newton. I feel like Nate Newton, if you sat down with him and you gave him a big slab of ribs or something, a bunch of food, just a hamburger the size of a dinner plate, and you sat down with him and you said, man, what about that weed? He'd go, what the fuck was that? Damn, same road. I feel like he would be okay with it, but that's precarious though. But the Lenny Dykstra Award's going to Nate. That's fine. Next up, there's 2 left, guys. These are big. Next up, most likely to find and kill me. I'd say us, but I'm doing the talking and doing the reason. I think they're going to kill me. They're going to find you later.
I know who it is. I gotta know who it is.
First up, BJ Penn. That seems like an angry guy.
I don't know if he's got money to leave Hawaii, though.
I don't think he's have a sense of humor.
Trip.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Second up, Albert Bell.
That's your guy.
I feel like is dangerous.
The man's got baseball bats in his car, I guarantee.
And he probably lives 15 minutes from me, which is a problem. Third up is, again, this is a far-off guy. You'd have to get here first. Alexander Emelianenko.
He'd not be happy.
He doesn't seem like a guy that would have any sense of humor humor about all the things we said about him. I feel like he would twist my head off and spike it on the ground.
Right.
So I'm going to do that.
And your ear and spit in the hole.
And spit in the hole. But he's also in Russia. Winner here, Albert Bell. It's Albert
just
Bell.
Based on geography alone.
Based on geography, and I feel like he would really enjoy it, too.
Yeah.
He would like, motherfucker. Like, he would be into it.
He'd smile for once in his life.
The first smile would come then. Next up, everybody, this is the most prestigious award. This is the one we've been waiting for all year. Everybody's been vying for it. We're going to have 6 nominees for this award because it's such a big award.
Yeah.
We had to fill out the field a little bit. Right. This is like the Oscars.
This is 6 cameras on their faces.
This is everybody.
The reaction shot.
They're all everybody's they want this so bad, Jimmy. This could change your career right here. This is everything. This is the scumbag of the year, everybody. This is now remember, this isn't just what you did. This isn't about what you did, because then we'd just be like, oh, he killed the most people, scumbag of the year. This is about a complete disregard for decency and general human nature.
Lack of remorse.
And even, you got to have a little elan with it. You know what I mean? This is for style.
Gusto.
A lot of different factors go into this. It's a very different, it could go either way. It's like Best Picture. Right. Sometimes it's a fucking cartoon. You're like, how is that compared to this? But it does. It's what you do.
Yeah.
Scumbag of the year. Okay, his big category. Yeah. First up, Paul Spadafora, number 1. Shot his pregnant girlfriend, fought a 63-year-old woman in a bar after slapping her hat off her head and then got her in a headlock and then punched his mom. So, beat up his mom. So that's a pretty scummy. That's a lot of spunk there.
That's the bar high.
That's what I mean. Second up, it's OJ. Second is OJ. I mean, when you're talking scum, you're talking OJ.
He lifts it, right? That lifts the bar.
You're talking OJ.
It's gotta be.
Third up, Mitch Blood Green.
Yeah.
I mean, all the goddamn things he did and the way he did them was really special. It was a special time, I gotta say right there. Fourth up, David Tyner, for just pure volume of murder. Right. He was a murdery son of a bitch. He had bodies on him, man. He did the murder also with a certain gusto that you don't see every day. Right. You know what I mean? You just don't see it every day. Fifth up, this is the first nomination of the night for this young man here, Kelly Patillo, the race car driver from the 30s and 40s. He was like slashing faces and he was a fucking maniac and a lot of fun. Wow. I mean, no one did it with less remorse. Right? He was like, I'll slash a face if I want to.
Cut a chick's face open.
Didn't give a shit. And finally, also for being the model crime and sports person, Todd Marinovich, for being from the beginning to the end and then falling apart because of too much pressure.
And at the end, it's just
he's still getting in trouble,
leaving it in a pile of smoke and rubble.
That's it. He's still on there. So this is a prestigious list, right? Guys, let's do this. This was the panel. Everything very quiet. The winner here. Oh my goodness! It's Mitch Blood Green.
Oh, what?
In a huge upset.
That's an upset.
It's a huge upset. Turns out taking a shift at a gas station was the craziest thing that anyone else has done this year. Not to mention wanting to street fight Mike Tyson, getting busted for PCP, getting arrested for refusing to pay a $2 toll when you had a shitload of money in your pocket, and having somehow his license suspended 36 times in like a 4-year period. He's a grab bag of fuckery. He checks all the boxes, and he did it with the most elan of anybody ever, I think. It was a tough one. OJ's mad. He stomped out of the room. OJ, come back. Come on. Jesus Christ, plus Paul Spadafora dragged his mom out by the hair. This is terrible. Tyner's, we're cutting off his satellite from prison. This is not Kelly Patillo, we have a medium. Is he with us? He is? He's not happy? He's not?
He's sped off.
He says he wants to slash your face, Jimmy. He is not happy with you at all.
And then he did a burnout in a really old car.
Todd Marinovich is currently fogging up the window, looking in it, seeing if there's anything of value that he can take. He's nude and greased up. I think he's going to try to come in. in.
Now he's digging through your trash.
I'm not sure. But Mitch Bloodgreen, congratulations on your Scummie, everybody. What an amazing time to be alive when the Scummies are happening.
Holy shit.
Thank you to all the nominees this year, our illustrious panel of Frankie and Benny. Of course, to myself and Jimmie for the whole thing. Thanks for the use of this wonderful ballroom that we've had. I'd like to thank Vera Wang for making Sarah's dress. It's been a big night for us all. Thank you. It's a lot of
Best Western is a great place.
It's
we should
wonderful.
Come back again.
The whole banquet room is fantastic. Everybody, the lights are down, the confetti's falling. It's a big night, everybody. So that's
unlimited chicken wings.
That is the Scummies this year, and that is Vinnie Jones. I hope you enjoyed all of that stuff here. If you did, I know how you can tell us about it. Get on Apple Podcasts, that purple icon, or over at Stitcher, or both if you can. Give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions or directions or whatever, but man, those things help us for some reason, and we really appreciate them. So thank you so much for doing that. We really, really do appreciate it. Also, you want to be a pal, you can go over to shutupandgivememurder.com where you can get all your merchandise, all of your tickets for live shows upcoming. They are coming up. We are in San Francisco with Small Town Murder March 13th and 14th, doing 2 late shows, 10 o'clock shows at Cobb's. They're almost sold out, and they're going to be a blast, so do that. Also, Detroit and Cincinnati, you guys are getting close to sold out, so get your tickets now for that. We're going to be there. Going to be a lot of fun. Follow us on social media where you can see the picture of the nut grabbing that we told you about. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Find us there. Also, if you want to be a bigger supporter, one of our producers who we will talk about on Small Town Murder because Jimmie came over at 1 o'clock in the morning and left the shout outs on his kitchen table.
He's at my house.
And I don't blame him because he's slept about as little as I have. So he was at the airport at 5 o'clock this morning?
2 o'clock Arizona time.
In the morning. And it's 3:37 Arizona time now. So, and there hasn't been a lot of sleep in between them. And his flight got delayed and bumped, and he was in the last row in the middle and had
the
worst time ever
on the plane.
So things have gotten bad. So as you can understand, we will have the producer shout outs for you then. You be one of our producers. You do that very easily over at patreon.com/crimeinsports, or head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com, and make a one-time donation. And honestly, thank you so much. We're really blown away by everything you do for us, and especially with the Crime and Sports here. As you can tell, I don't know if you heard, there's no ads on this show. This is an ad-free show, so thank you for everything you do for us. And there will be upcoming bonus stuff over, I think it's a $5 and over level. We do it for Small Town Murder now, and we have a bunch of Crime and Sports stuff planned. So get in on that and find us out and do all of that. Jimmie, what if they wanted to find you out? How could they find you? What do they do?
Find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Thank you guys so much. Where can they find you?
You can find me over at Jimmie P is Funny, or just at Jimmie P is Funny, I should say. I'm so tired. Or just copy and paste my name from the show description and make it easy on yourself. Also, wish Jimmie happy birthday this week. His birthday's on Saturday. So
it is.
Saturday, right? Yeah,
I
Saturday.
forgot about that.
That's right, fucker. So do all that. Tell Jimmie happy birthday. And thank you guys for everything, honestly. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus